What a day. What a day in Philadelphia. By the way, shout out to the Krauss family. They got the whole crew working. I mean, I'm going to call her Special K. I saw Isabel down there earlier. There's Special K. Big Sills, Big Z. I name them all now, so I'm going to name all the Krauss kids my own little special way. Special K started the show today. Thank you very much. Absolutely fantastic. What a moment, man, in Philadelphia. You know, I got to tell you guys something. Civic pride was on display today in a city that really embraces their football team. That's what you talk about, true passion. Do you know how many times I try to have conversations with people in Philadelphia, and you try to explain people in LA, and they have no passion for their football team. They're always talking about going to the beach. Seeing Nolan Smith today go into the stands and into the crowd, picks a kid up. Bro, you remember those memories for the rest of your life. It was like the Canyon of Heroes going down Broad Street. Those are things you never forget, man. Being in a situation like that where you get a chance to go and your local fan base gets to embrace you is remarkable. And it was great to see. You know, all the stuff about free agency, where the team is in a couple months from now, the start of the combines, that's no talk for today. The talk for today is remembering what they accomplished. Get this, man. We're going to have a fun show here with this. Eagle year-end awards. We're going to take a look at the guys this year. And what did we write down? We ranked the years that the players had this year. 1 through, I think we went 30. We're going to do that. We're going to talk a little Nick Sirianni. By the way, guys, please hit the like button. We appreciate you guys so much, especially on a day like this. Get this, bandwagon. I never said I was a fan of your team. I said I cover your team. Not sure what you're talking about, kid. Once again, false narratives. I'm a fan of your fans. Remember what I told you from day one. I'm a fan of the Eagle fans more than I am of your team because I saw it on display today. That's what I love about Philly. Not your team, the fans. I like the fans more. I've never changed that narrative. So he's lying. I mean, yeah, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Dude, how he got hit with a beer bottle. Oh, man, that's not cool. That's not cool. We're not looking for any kind of shit like that. That's not cool. You are the champions, man. Go Birds. Philly rocking. Man, that city was awesome to watch today. I really enjoyed watching the coverage that we had here on JAKIB. Way to go. By the way, a Herculean effort by the entire Krauss family. Isabel's a star. Special K now is a star in my eyes. Okay? Xander and Joe down there on a flatbed truck. A guy making sure that it happened by putting the flatbed down there so that everyone gets a clear view, especially the people that support us here on JAKIB. Kudos, man. This is an out-and-out, absolute awesome day. And you see, the guy comes in here and goes, hey, man, I've never been a bandwagon. I told you I cover your team, jackass. That's what I do. That's what we do here. Cover your team. We're in love with your fan base. That's never changed. How about the job that JAKIB did to go out of their way to try to deliver the content? I'm going to tell you something today that I saw today between Xander, Joe, Isabel, Special K here. Do you know what I saw? They went over and above to make sure, and it wasn't about them, so that you guys who support what we do each and every single day here, Monday through Sunday, that you could have content that you'd be proud of. I mean, I've had a monster week because of you. Our interviews are in the 20,000 K mark. The event today that they covered did a great job. It was unbelievable. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. If people would listen to you, they would understand your takes on the team. It's not your job to be a homer. Man, I don't mind homers. But what I also do is I also remind people how I cover teams. Sean, I cover teams giving people reality. I'm a resume guy. I'm not a fantasy guy. I don't believe in fantasy talk. Well, you know, this guy will be this guy in 10 years. I don't fucking believe in that shit. Who are you right now? That's why when I put my list together of the quarterbacks and the top quarterbacks in the NFL yesterday, Jalen will always have to be in that conversation of the top 5 players at that position in this sport until somebody does something different. And by the way, he's probably solidified that. Whether I don't like his style of play, that's irrelevant. His accomplishments speak more than the process. Do you understand? I bitch at process sometimes, maybe too much. His results, they don't add up. If you keep hammering a point and you look stupid. I love seeing him at the parade too, man. At least 7 birds coming nearby Sunday for autographs and pictures. Love the coverage, Sales. Conversations are great. Much love, world champion. I mean, you guys are cute. Fantastic, man. Thank you for the super chats. All of you should be in a great mood today. By the way, again, like I said, this is the day to look at, hey, man, we'll get into all that stuff next week. Different football team coming back. Zach Bond, will he or will he not be a hot commodity on the free agent market? That stuff can be, that's not a parade conversation. Okay? That's not. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button here. So we'll get into the, hopefully we can catch up with Xander a little bit later on too. And by the way, for a perspective on what the Eagles did this past Sunday, our Hall of Fame voter, Jason Cole, by the way, Eric Allen was on with us yesterday. I hope you'll check out that interview. He was absolutely sensational. He told us a story that I had never heard. The Chicago Bears were on the phone trying to track him down. And Buddy Ryan, still having an axe to grind with Ditka and the Bears, told him not to answer the phone. You talk about collusion. What did he do? He didn't answer the phone. Eagles picked him next. He became a Philadelphia Eagles. One of the greatest stories I've ever heard when it came to draft day. A couple weeks out from the NFL Combines. The new year starts March 12th. God, there's so much to hit on. Look at my topic page today. I mean, we're all over the place here today, man. So do me a favor, please. Super chats go to the top. Hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. Let's do this here. You know what? I want to do this before we get knee deep into the topics. You know what I saw today with that parade? Expectations. I saw expectations. So happy. And for the city, the way that they get shit on by the national media, that was awesome. But they set a bar now. And now the Philadelphia Eagle fans are expecting that new metric. You know what it used to be a Pittsburgh Steeler fan? Going to Super Bowls and winning them. You know what the standard in Pittsburgh is now? Not having a losing season. That's the standard now that you have, that you've changed in Philadelphia compared to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh used to have the Lombardi standard. You have that now. You've taken that from the Steelers. Okay? You've taken that by the Steelers. I know, I saw that, man. That's not cool. that Howie was hit by a beer bottle. Come on, man. Fuck's wrong with you, man? Now, look, there's always two dicks in the room that are always going to ruin the whole thing here. Okay? And you know what you're going to get? You'll get national media ripping the entire fan base because of two loser dudes that did something stupid in the crowd. There's always an asshole in the crowd, man. You can't get away from that. And especially in Philly, that's why they put the damn jail in the 700 level back at the vet. I mean, hey, but you'll be indicted on it. That's right, Kyle. Philadelphia has now replaced Pittsburgh in the standard. I mean, dude, the standard in Pittsburgh used to be championships. Now it's not having losing seasons. That's lowering your standards. The standard has been raised. Dude, next year, watch this. What's the standard? Super Bowl or bust. That's the greatest standard you can have for an organization. You know what the standard is for the New York Jets? Trying to make the playoffs. You know why they don't make the playoffs? Because that is their standard. I told you this before. Championship football teams strive for perfection, knowing full well they're not going to get there, and learning to live with greatness. That's where the Eagle organization is now. Kudos. Job well done. Proving me wrong. You know how you prove me wrong? With excellence. Can't get around it. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Thank you so much for coming here on this special day, especially in Philadelphia with what they were going through today with their fans. Speeches, I saw Jason Kelce there. I don't mind Jason Kelce there. And maybe I was a little too hard on him yesterday, but again, I think that his reputation in the city of Philadelphia took a hit with some of the comments. You know what he should have did? He should have just said nothing. If he was going to go around and he was going to straddle the fence like that, he should have said nothing. He should have just let it hang out there in the ether. Here's a little bit of advice for Jason. Jason, don't worry about what people are saying about you. Live your life, man, because you're not going to appease everybody. Somebody's not going to like what you say. Shit, look at me. My entire life is that way. Half the people in the building like what I say. Half the people in the building don't. But you know what they do? They fucking listen. That's what I am about. That's all I care about. So you're going to get into a media world now. It's different than your actions on the field have no bearing on how people will see you. Okay? We appreciate you guys, especially on this day here. All right. I'm going to do something here. Let me start out with this one. Angelo Cataldi and I have been very critical of Nick Sirianni. Okay? And I've said this today. His success it's funny. I should listen to my coach more, Jimmy Johnson. Didn't Jimmy Johnson say, if I didn't have great assistant coaches, I would never be the two-time Super Bowl champion? And you know this because those coaches were with you at the University of Miami. And I said, no. I had the greatest coaching staff in the history of college football. Every one of those coaches that had me at Miami would end up going on. And you know what they would do? They would win 3 Super Bowls in Dallas, Texas. Okay? Every one of those coaches that I had, I didn't realize how great my assistant coaches were. So I'm going to apply something here that Jimmy Johnson said here on this program. Man, a head coach is only as good as his assistants. And if you don't have great assistants around you, you're not going anywhere. Isn't that a product of Nick? Again, I'm having a conversation because he, like Jalen Hurts, you can't get around the win percentage. You can't get around the 700 wins. You can't. He's got a better resume now than Sean McVay. He's got more winning. Sean McVay, to me, in the NFC was the standard. Hasn't Nick become that standard now? Again, Do I believe in like everything? No, I do not, and you know that, and I'm not changing that opinion. But what I am asking you is, has he grown into his job? Has he grown into his job? Why would Sean McVay be jealous of Sirianni? He's done the same shit he's done. He's got 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl, and he's won 8 division titles or 4 division titles in 8 years. Why would he be jealous of him? Nick hasn't done any more than him. Nick's just recent. What has he done more? Actually, McVay has been the coach of the year. But I think with his win percentage, I think he now has moved ahead of him. So again, I'm awake or use a dumbass because you don't want to give other people the kudos. And you see, when you do this, remember something, folks. Don't diminish the people you're passing on the way to the top of the mountain. Because all it does, like I'm awake or you, is diminish your goals and your achievements. That's like saying that Patrick Mahomes sucks. Well, then Jalen Hurts beat a sucky-ass quarterback? Why would you do that? Why would you diminish your own achievements? Nick's starting to warm up, isn't he? Is he growing into it? I think a little bit he's growing into it here. You know, so many people have said he would grow into this. Okay? A lot of people said that they were, would he grow into this? And I think he has. I think he's starting to. We'll see what he does with this hire. I said it yesterday. This hire is going to be one of the most important hires that the Eagles have going into the offseason. And everyone just goes like this. Well, hey, Sills, this is going to be an easy thing for Nick. And it'll be an easier transition. Maybe because Jalen now has dealt with this for numerous years. Maybe so. Maybe so. Right now, you give them the benefit of the doubt because they're world champions. That's where the Eagles are now. You got to give them, hey, the stuff of not playing in the preseason, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt on that. Not playing all their starters, only in the organized team scrimmages. You have to tell them they know what they're doing. Hey, I'd like to see them play more in the that you can't do that now. Their entire process, they could turn in you and look and go, hey, in the last 8 years or 7 years, we've been one of the most successful franchises in all of the NFL. Okay? Next season starts tomorrow. Actually, Brian, the first day of the new NFL season is March 12th. That's the first day of the new season. You'd like to have your guys inked down by March 12th, or a franchise tag's coming up here in a couple weeks. I think the 18th, actually, is when you have to designate who's going to be your franchise tag guy. So that's on the 18th. Do me a favor, guys. Give me a total on the likes. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. So we're going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to rank year-end awards here. The Philadelphia Eagle year-end awards for a job well done. Job well done. Started out with this. Rookie of the Year. Who is the Philadelphia Eagles Rookie of the Year? Me, it's Cooper DeJean. I think at the beginning of the year, Quinyon Mitchell, I think he was wowing everybody, but I think this went on as the year kept going on. And the year kept going on. I never saw a drop-off in Cooper DeJean's play the entire year, and he capped it off with a pick six in the Super Bowl. I saw a little bit of this with Q, albeit a tougher position, not saying he didn't, but to me, it was more this. Leveled down a little bit, kind of went back up, down, and then he went a little bit back up. To me, I thought Cooper DeJean went like this. He may be the greatest second-round pick I've ever seen. I mean, could you not make the comment that you're kind of who was a better pick in the second round, Jalen or him? Hurts probably because he's the quarterback. But this kid's a star, man. I mean, he went like this the entire time. I don't believe there's a position in the secondary he can't play. I don't believe there's a position. For me, the rookie of the year for the Philadelphia Eagles, I think this year, I think the rookie of the year is Cooper DeJean. I mean, great job. Hey, Landon Dickerson, another second-round pick. You're right. That's another great pick. But because of the quarterback position, it's probably Hurts. But boy, this kid, DeJean, holy shit. Is he a superstar hey, I'm not telling, by the way, this is not a rip on Q. He had a great year also. No ripping on Q. But what I'm saying to you is, I was more impressed with Cooper DeJean this year, and I think you can do more things with him. I think he has a chance to be one of the top secondary players in the NFL. He's a tone setter. He's a hitter. The hit he had, hey, would we not agree? Name me two things that you remember Quinyon Mitchell doing this year. I'm going to tell you for me on Cooper DeJean, him teacupping Derrick Henry and that pick six in the Super Bowl. Those were memorable plays that he had this year. Hey, and to the Eagle development guys, their coaches, the drafting, the talent evaluator guys, kudos, man. For a position you have failed at miserably, you landed two dudes, not one dude. Okay? Two dudes in the secondary. Kudos. My rookie of the year for the Philadelphia Eagles is Cooper DeJean. Absolutely fantastic. Hey, and by the way, I mean, two guys coming in at the same time, playing in the secondary, those guys are going to lock that secondary down now for the next couple of years. Hey, what happens here's what I would like to see this coming year. Here's your play. Here's your secondary. This is what I would love. Q at corner 1, DeJean, corner 2, Reed, and Sidney Brown. That would be and get this. You got two guys on rookie contracts. You got Sidney Brown still on a rookie contract, and you've got Reed Blankenship. You'll have the best secondary in the league. If DeJean can move out to the numbers, okay, if he can get out to the numbers out there, my opinion, you got yourself a hell of a secondary that you're building there. I'm talking about future, Crowley. Gardner Johnson's not part of your future. Sidney Brown, Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean, and also Q. That's what eventually I'd like to see that secondary look like. Okay? I'm not saying Gardner Johnson not back this coming. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? I'm hearing that the guys are going to start doing their speeches now. So give me an update on what's going on with the speeches, because I'll stop whatever I'm doing, man. 73 likes. Guys, let's get that number up. I know a lot of people are celebrating today, and you should be celebrating. It's a celebration day, man. Again, this is all good. Hey, dude, talking about, like I said, the free agency, what guy comes back, what guy doesn't come back. That's next. Dude, we got 6 months of that shit. Okay? We got 6 months of that shit. By the way, Merrill Reese dominated because he made his first public appearance right here on Big Sil's show here. Okay? And he killed it earlier in the week. That was the first time that he had spoken publicly. This is the second time that he has spoken publicly. It's today at the parade. And on, I think, Tuesday, he was on the program. Very good, man. Fantastic. That's it, guys. Give me an update, man. We will definitely keep going there with that. So your secondary, there'd be my rookie of the year. Who is your MVP? Why don't we do this? Let's go offensive MVP. And let's go defensive MVP. I think we all are in agreement. It's Saquon Barkley. Now, let me ask you this. Doesn't Jalen Hurts get credit for taking a secondary role and being a leader on his team? I told you I made you comparisons. Dwayne Wade, Steph Curry. When Kevin Durant and LeBron James showed up to those two guys' places, what did they do? Hey, it was your team. You guys are the stars. I always thought Dwayne Wade was always the leader and captain of those Miami Heat teams. Okay? I always thought that those guys were the true leaders of that team and not LeBron. Same with Steph. Same with Seth. I thought Steph Curry was the MVP on that team and the team leader. Doesn't Jalen get credit for that? Hey, you guys being in here, new role, right? I mean, he gets credit for that. He gets credit for taking a secondary role because he did. He took a secondary role to Barkley. There's no doubt Barkley's the physical MVP, but maybe the spiritual MVP of that offense was indeed Jalen Hurts this year. I'm still going, in my opinion, with Barkley as the offensive MVP. But these are the season-ending Big Sills Awards here on Championship Friday, Parade Friday for the Eagles. On defense, this is a little more difficult. Who led this football team this year defensively? I think it's easier than you think. I think it's Jalen Carter. Okay? I think it's Jalen Carter, and I don't think it's really an argument. Without Jalen Carter on your football team, Zach Bond doesn't have the year he has at the controlling of the defensive line and the run game that nobody could really get going against the Eagles. It was all Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter dominated this year more than Zach Bond did. Jalen Carter was the force in the middle that pulled it all together. I think if you look at it, there's no question. They had stars on all three levels this year. Carter, Bond, Q, and Slay on all three levels. They weren't the best players in their sport, but they were in the top three in their sport. And that's why he had the best unit in the sport. Okay? I go Jalen Carter. Phenomenal. He's my defensive MVP. Who's your assistant coach of the year? Vic Fangio? Or Jeff Stoutland? Who would be the assistant coach of the year? Jeff Stoutland put together the ninth best rushing attack in NFL history. NFL history. The best O-line in the last 25 years. Okay? Vic had the number one defense in the NFL. This is a tougher call here. Who had and who was more impactful this year? Jeff Stoutland and that offensive line or Vic Fangio? 32nd to 1. Dude, and get this. Jeff Stoutland, I mean, he now has 2 Super Bowl rings. He's got 3 NFC championships. How many Hall of Famers is he going to produce in his time? In Philly, Lane, Jason Kelsey, Jason Peters. He helped with his career. I know that he had been at different stops, but he elevated his game in 2017. There's a chance Mulata could be a Hall of Fame football player too. What a great coach. On the other hand, Vic Fangio, he came in and absolutely changed the landscape. What was the difference, you think, with what Vic did from this team, from the 22 team that had a great defense as well? What was the one characteristic you thought was different this time around? What was the difference this time? I thought was the energy he brought. The player development, the assistant coaches he brought in, the coaching staff that he put together with Bobby King, Clint Hurt, all of those guys. Man, what a tough call. I'm probably going to say it's Vic. When a great defensive lineman plays two-gap scheme, does that make an average linebacker play greater than what he is? Or do you still need a superstar linebacker? It's a great ask, David. When you've got a guy in front of a linebacking core that's two-gapping or that can control the line of scrimmage, you can put – let me ask you this, bro. Hey, David, let me ask you this. Did you see a drop-off in linebacker play when Oren Burks was put in for Nakobe Dean? Did you see a drop-off? In any way, did you see a drop-off? I didn't see a drop-off. And why was that? Because the guys in front of them were playing their asses off. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, the backup defensive tackles made that linebacking core have the ability to be able to have a great year. Zach Bond, that's why when Zach Bond's thinking about going free agency, he's got to look around the NFL and go, okay, I can take the bag of money, but do I have guys like that in front of me that are going to allow me to have the same latitude I had in Philly? Am I going to be the same player in Tennessee or Washington or New England, knowing full well they don't have the defensive tackle play in front of him? Zach Bond can look. You know what Zach Bond can do? Zach Bond can go to a place and look like shit next year. Because you know why? The guys in front of him are not helping him. If your two D tackles are getting blown off the football, your linebackers have no shot of making any plays. Thank you, I'm a Waker. You appreciate it. He knows it. He saw it last year, right? In 23. If you don't have great D-line play, D-tackle play, Zach Bond can go somewhere and look like complete shit. Those two guys in front of him helped that linebacking core this year immensely. The play of Jordan, hey, that's why when Jordan Davis's contract talks come up, you got to look at it. He may not go like this. Hey, you may not see me in the stat page, but you know what you do and you will see me at? You will see me making sure the guys behind me are making plays and they're all over the – without that tackle play, those guys are lost. So kudos, man. That's Clint Hurt. That's Vic Fangio. That is Bobby King. They did a whale of a job this year coaching those guys. Kudos to them. And that's why they're on the podium today talking. Nolan Smith can't be the player without Milton Williams and Josh Sweat playing the way that they're playing. Does the back seven make it easier for the last one, or does the line make them look better? The line makes them look better with pressure. Think about it, DC. Thanks for the supers. All supers go to the top. Give me a total on the likes. And by the way, give me updates on what's going on with the speeches. Thank you guys so much. We so appreciate it. I mean, the defensive line, man, is the key to this thing. You know why they played so well? By the way, the quarterback play was better this time than it was in 22. Why? Because they didn't get the volume of pressure that you got in 22. Those DBs didn't have to play that great in 2022. These guys did, because you know why? You didn't have the sack pressure that you had in 2022. You had 4 dudes with double-digit sacks that year. Cornerback play was better this year. than it was a couple of years ago. And now if you get more, can you imagine this? If you were able to combine that front and that production with the cornerbacks and DBs that you had now, you'd have gone undefeated. You would have gone undefeated. Okay? So, great. By the way, the mayor's talking. It's probably one of the only times that she'll get to talk in Philadelphia in front of a crowd that's united. That's why she's taking more time. And it's a great time to be united. There's no political parties. Nobody's talking shit on anybody. You get that day. Get this. You know the greatest thing about playing in the NFL or playing on a football team? You get one day of this. You see Jalen Hurts talking about we're behind already because of how far we went into the season. He's already talking like that. That's a brilliant mindset. Football players and coaches have one day. You're going to celebrate, and then you're going to move on, and you're going to start the 2025 season. The next day, fans can sit for, get this, fans for the next 6 months can revel in this. Football people don't. That's the reality of playing professional sports. You can't sit around having parades every day. The fans can, and that's cool. That's cool. Okay. Who's the most improved player? Big Seals is giving awards out. Who's the most improved player on your team this year? The most improved player. He gets the most improved player award. Who would that be? Hit the like button, guys. Do me a favor. Please give me a total on where we are in the likes and also an update on what's going on. Nolan Smith. Okay. Who else? Jacoby Dean. Who else? Got Nolan? Nah. For me, Cam Jurgens. Now, is it worth paying a $20 million inside linebacker like Burks or pay Burks less? Hey, David, that's going to be the $25 million question. If he goes out in the open market, and now it's a great question. Not that I wanted to do that today, but David, let me ask you this, and we'll get back to that question here. If if Zach Bond goes out in the open market and he doesn't have the amount of teams, and all of a sudden he finds his value out. See, right now, can I tell you? I think that, or Burks, you're talking. Let me get the Burks here. But let me show you something here on Zach Bond, and I'll get the Burks. Okay? Here's actually, too, though, M. Reyes. This is Zach Bond's first year. If Zach Bond goes on the open market, he'll have 10 teams after him. If Josh Sweat goes on the open market, he'll have 20 teams after him. So Howie Roseman, once again, do you let the guy get out there and set the market so that you know what you're bidding against? Because what you don't want to do is overpay without knowing what the value of the player is to other teams. Don't you agree? Right? Don't you agree? Sirianni's talking. Fantastic. We'll talk about Nick here today too as well. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Right? What if he put Bond on the open market and all of a sudden Bond comes back and there's like 8 or 9 teams that want to offer him 17 million, 18 million? Isn't that in the best interest of the Eagles? Why would you overbid, do what the Cowboys do, and give him money and say this? Here's 20. Well, how do you know it's 20? It might not be 20. He's 27 years old. It might not be 20. It might not be. Now, for Oren Burks, I think the injury to Nakobe Dean, I'd love to have him back. I'd love the linebacker. I love the linebacker room right now. You got Trotter, you got Burks, you got Bond, and you got Dean in there. I mean, those four guys going into 2025, that would be really a good group. If you were and I think it's feasible, you could bring every one of those guys back. Okay? Sydney goes, TJ didn't get that much. Sydney, the increased salary that he got, he went from making $1.5 million in Philly to $7.5 million. You think that's a lot? And that was 2 years ago. So do you think that's a lot? Sydney, think about it. TJ went from $1.5 million to $7.5 million. Right? Okay. Once again. So let me get back to the other comment. The most improved Eagle this year. Who is he? Is Bond $60 million 3 years or Burks 2 year 18? I'm probably thinking that's what it's going to be, David. 20 per for Bond because the cap's going up 18%. And Burks 2 year 18. Man, $9 million for Oren Burks. I think that's a little too rich. I mean, I think that's a little too much there. Okay? I think it's a little too rich. Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate you guys. Please give me a total on the likes. We're going to have a NFL Hall of Fame voters perspective on what the Eagles accomplished on Sunday with our friend Jason Cole. We're hoping to catch up with Xander a little bit. He was down there with his pop and all the people from JAKIB Nation down there, and we're hoping to catch up with them a little bit later. 105, not bad on a parade day, believe me. A lot of excitement down there. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. Most improved to me was Cam Jurgens because he took over for a Hall of Famer. I like what he did. If Burks, you got Burks, Dean starting, Trotter backup. Yeah. I'd start to get the playing time for Jeremiah Trotter this coming season. I'd start to get playing time for Trevor Keegan. I'd start to get those guys. Okay? Howie's got a war wound from the parade. How Philly. Yeah. Hey, a lot of cheers, a lot of beers. You can't get any better than that. Now, I don't really appreciate people throwing shit at folks, but that's awesome. And by the way, when Jalen Hurts steps up to the mic, you know what's going to be cool? It's going to be a victory speech. It's a victory speech. Hey, I know some of you are sitting here going like this. Sil said he could never do this. Sil said he could never do that. So did Nick Saban. Me and Nick Saban are wrong. So much to the point where Nick Saban told him it'd be in the best interest if you leave. I'm not the only one. The greatest and winningest coach in the history of college football also was wrong. Was he not? Okay. Well, Senor is a follower. I know I've been following for 40 years. That's why I'm one of the most successful guys in the history of sports talk. I'm a follower. Yeah, that's of all the people, of all the things to say, I'm a follower. Really? Why the fuck do you think I've been fired so many times? Because I what? Followed the narrative? What a stupid take. Sills was like mass media, really. Senor don't know me from a can of paint. He just thinks he does. Okay? You're right, Senor. I've been following the league for 40 years. Who found Bond and Burks and drafted Hojimore Hunt? That'd be Howie, man. By the way, I think he's a better general manager since he came out of the broom closet. Absolutely. Okay? Sills gives kudos to Burrow, Allen, Lamar, Justin Herbert. For what? Because they're great players. That's why. And I don't care you don't see it. They're great football players. Too bad. Difference of opinion. Okay? Difference of opinion. You don't like that opinion? Everybody's entitled to one. That's right. I'm a follower. Most successful guy in history of sports talk. Guys, slow down. I didn't say I was the most successful guy in the history of sports talk. I said one of. Use your ears. One of. And by the way, I owe no apologies to anybody for my career. And I stand on everything I say. Hurts thanking specialist and Sirianni. Matt D, it's a victory lap. He gets to take it. Emmanuel Acho also was a guy. His resume now, again, it's a victory lap. It's a victory lap. Okay? Again, I made my comparisons on Jalen. I think he's a lot like Troy Aikman and what he's asked to do. Nobody would ever say Troy Aikman was a better quarterback than Dan Marino, but that's irrelevant. It's not a conversation. Do you want a champion or do you want to be a talented player? They're two different conversations. Completely. We had, by the way, your own Eric Allen yesterday was telling you that Jalen didn't do everything great, but he does everything really well. Go back and listen to the interview. It's not a rip. His resume speaks to what he's accomplished. Eric Allen, who works in the scouting department for the Raiders now, who just went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, said those exact words. Hurts is a true leader. Thanking the forgotten players. Great. Hey, dude, that is exactly what a leader does. Aikman is the same guy. That's quite a combination that you're talking about with Troy. Troy's got a gold jacket. Troy's got 3 Super Bowl rings. Troy played with one of the greatest teams of all time. I don't know what the rip is. There is no rip. I mean, Troy Aikman won Super Bowls than Dan Marino. Or Aaron Rodgers. Jalen right now is taking a victory lap. He has every right to. His resume is now filling up with the right collection of wins. Okay? So, that's why his teammate, by the way, some of the comments that he makes now, he made a comment the other day, and I'll say this to you about him. I'm not reading into any of that shit anymore. As a matter of fact, when Jalen Hurts says something, it's probably true. Okay? He said it's going to take a little time for the offense. It turned out to be true. This is going to be completely different this year. Turned out to be completely true. All the shit that the Eagles were feeding you was not true. The stuff he was saying, Jalen started telling the truth. Okay? That's right, Denny. Denny, a true champion, there is no such thing as a finish line. If you want to be a winner in life, there's no finish lines. There's no such thing as a finish line. You're constantly looking to run through the tape all the time. Okay? No such thing as a finish line. Hey, did you see Gardner Johnson's shirt about the Swifties? Did you see that? Hey, I don't know, man. Gardner Johnson with that Swifties. Did you see what was on that shirt? This is a family show, but did you, and especially I got Special K with me here, so I'm going to leave the shirt alone here. But did you see the shirt? Hey, taking shot at the Swifties. By the way, I don't even know one song that chick sings, so I have no idea. Anyway, CJ Gardner with that shirt, man. What's more Philly than Sills? He is an asshole with an opinion. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong, but he doesn't stand on it and admits it. But he doesn't stand. Okay. Hey, he's wrong. Anthony, all good, dude. Yeah, wrong about what? I'm not sure what you're saying. The dude went out and he ended up changing his narrative on Sunday, man. You can't get around his resume. There's no debating it, Anthony. I told you this before. All the shit you were talking before about Hurts was fantasy talk. It was pie in the sky shit. Now that's over with. Lamar Jackson is in the fantasy land. Josh Allen is in the fantasy land. All them dudes are in the fantasy land. Hurts got a resume. Here are the best resumes in football right now at the quarterback position. You ready? You know what I should do? I should put the best resumes in the NFL at the quarterback position, and I guarantee you that list is different, right? Let's do that. You tell me. Here's top most accomplished quarterbacks in the NFL. Let's do 5 because I don't really think there's a lot of accomplished quarterbacks. And I'm going to put it whether or not they're still in their prime. Okay? Is that fair? Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. He is the most accomplished quarterback in pro football. Who's second? Let's see. Who's got 2 conference championship rings and a Super Bowl next to his name? Let's see. That would be Russell Wilson. Is he in his prime? No. So he's down the list. Who else? Matthew Stafford. Got a conference championship ring, and he's got a Super Bowl ring. Hurts has more, and a win percentage that's better. Remember, Stafford's under 500. I would probably put Stafford 5th. Is Hurts second? Hurts is second. Who would be third? Probably Stafford. I'll put him there instead of Lamar with the MVPs. Okay. And who else? Purdy. Golf. Here are the 5 most accomplished quarterbacks right now in the NFL. Mahomes, Hurts, Stafford, Lamar, and Golf. It's a completely different list when you're talking about the best quarterbacks in the game today. Right? What's more Philly than Sills? He's an asshole, in my opinion. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong, but he doesn't stand on it and admits it. Not sure what you mean, but thank you for the super. I stand on everything I mean. I never waver off of anything, and I always stand by what I say. No, well, it will change by the player's accomplishments. But if I said something that was not right, I always account for when I say it. You'll hear me say it. Guy went out on Sunday and punched his ticket. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate it. Love your takes, dude. Landon Dickerson. These guys got to be all sauced up, man. By the way, Landon Dickerson is going to need surgery in the offseason here. Not too concerned about that. Okay. Hey, Landon. Hey, this is shit talking time, man. This is a great day for shit talking. Eagles deserve it, right? Landon dropping curse words. Man, I think that's awesome, man. What a great day for the guys, man. The parade and everybody coming down the street, seeing all the fans out there, like about what? Where the Kraus's had their setup, it was like 25,000 just in that little area there. Really great, man. Okay? We'll stand on the fact that Hurts is an elite quarterback and he's top 3. Okay. Kudos, RC3. You have every right to think that. The guy went out and won a Super Bowl. Not a problem. Okay? Like, what are we being sorry for? I'm not sure what you're talking. They said I was a diva. They said all I care about are stats. Hold on here. Wait a minute. Who said this? They said I was a diva. They said all I care about is stats. If you get all those wrong, at least get one right. I'm a fucking champion. Who's he talking about? Who's AJ talking about? He and I used to get into back and forth. Who's he talking about? All right, Chef. Hey, Sue, who's he? Who do you think he's talking about? Okay. They said I'm a diva. OJ Owens or AJ Owens. They said all I cared about was stats. You get all those things wrong, at least get one thing right. I'm a fucking champion. All right. Hey, congratulations to you, AJ. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can take shots at Big Sills all you want. Congratulations. I'll take them on. Okay. Sue's like, all this is being censored. What do you think? It's Fox. Not going to let it go down like that. Holy shit, man. AJ taking shots at Big Sills. Hey, Sue, do you agree? Nobody on WIP was calling and saying those things about him. Nobody on the Fanatic was saying those things about him. Nobody really nationally was saying those things about him. Who was saying that about AJ Owens? Who's the heavyweight champion of the world? How you doing? All right. Yeah. Holy shit. It was you, Sills. Yes, sir. Give me a total on the likes here. You guys have been great. I love what you're doing. It shows you can multitask. You're watching the parade and the speeches, and you're talking with Big Sills. I can't thank you guys enough, man. I know. Hey, Bob, right? AJ listens. We know Devontae does. We know Devontae does, right? Give me a total on the likes. We appreciate you guys coming aboard. Please hit the like. Supers go to the top. Gonna have a fun day here, man. They listen, Big Sills. 155. That ain't bad. Hey, by the way, do me a favor. Hit the like button as many times as you can today. If you're coming in and out of the program, it's a championship Friday. Okay? Sills living rent-free in AJ's. Hey, look at this. Hold on here. Hey, Niner all day. Sills living rent-free in AJ Brown's head. Hey, man, maybe, you know what I'm going to do here? Special K, she's new to the program and producing it. Just so she knows, I can be an annoyance. My daughter, just so you know, Special K Krauss, this is what we have producing the program here today. I love these kids that Joe Krauss has. I just love these guys. And I'll tell you this, so you know, Special K, my daughter says I'm the most annoying person she's ever known in her life. And my wife calls me the biggest asshole she's ever known. I said, who's the biggest asshole you ever met in your life? She goes, you. And I'm like, me? So I can be annoying. Okay? I know this. This is why I fit with you guys in Philly. I'm annoying. I'm aggravating. I get under people's skin. Gee, who does that remind you of? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Hey, Niner all day. I'm going to say this to you now. I'm very glad that I could help motivate A.J. Brown and A.J. Owens into being the player that he is. Without a guy like Big Sills, who do you have? Who do you have? Right? Wow. Because nobody on. Remember what they did on WIP for AJ? Hey AJ, how you feeling? You okay? Are you all right? They were doing like a sit down. I thought he was on The Sopranos and he was like seeing a psychiatrist. Like the host on WIP was like a psychiatrist. Hey Jay, are you okay? Just saying. You know, I'm glad I can contribute to the Eagles' success. Oh, by the way, supposedly I got a direct message from Jalen Hurts' mom. I was going to wait, but I got a direct message from Jalen Hurts' mom from her Twitter page. I think it's her. And she goes like this. I told you he was going to be a champion. You know, I showed Ray Didinger's email the other day. Xander made me not, you know, Xander was talking about, hey, Ray did, you know, it's all right. Ray, I thought it was cool that he gave me kudos because he loved coming on. He said, please just ask me anytime. So Jalen Hurts' mom is going around the media guys, and she kept receipts on us all. Now, I'm not going to show it because I'm trying to get her on. But she went like this. How do you like my kid now? Big old smiley face. And I'm like, okay. Congratulations to you. He won. Hey. So she's going around the media guys right now that talk shit on Hurts. And she's oh, man. Okay. Sad Sills is disgraceful trying to hate on a Super Bowl winning. Bro, I never said anything about his ability. And sad, I don't care, Calvin. Congratulations. It's Super Bowl Friday. Get over yourself. Okay? Whatever, dude. Sad you have to come in here and talk shit like that. He won a Super Bowl. He's a great player. I've never said he wasn't. How you doing? Okay? Sales Big Slay talking about you saying how Philly does not have any luck. Oh! So wait a minute. Holy cow. Hang on here. This is getting better. You're kidding me. So AJ took a shot at Big Sills. And now Big Slay is taking, because I said you play zone and you don't have lockdown. Oh, holy shit. Big Sills is getting crushed in Philly today. You're kidding me. Oh, holy cow. The players are getting on stage and taking a shot at Big Sills. Oh, man. Look at this. Big Slay saying how Philly doesn't have lockdown corners. We got two of them. Can't be a lockdown corner. Super Bowl Friday. Super Bowl. Hey, they listen to us, not just me. You see that, Special K? Big Sills is here on his program, and they're taking shots at my takes all year. Holy cow. We're getting hammered today by AJ and Slay. Holy cow. Hit the like button. Guys, give me a total here. Great first hour with what's going on in downtown Philly and what's going on here on the program. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. Great stuff, man. Listen to, hey, Senor, dude, Senor is an asshole like me, and I love this guy. I do. I love this guy, man. They got the National Football Show playing at the NovaCare Center and in the weight room. Hey, Senor, he's been bitching at my takes that AJ and Slayer taking shots at, so he feels justified too. I fucking told you, Sileo. Okay? Now you're taking it in the face here today in Philly. Jahan Dotson. Holy shit. Don't tell me he's going to take a shot at Big Sills. So, hey, Senor, do we not agree? People at WIP weren't taking a shot saying lockdown corners. And AJ was, I'm the only one that called him a diva. Oh, man. I don't know about today, man. I thought today was going to be a fun, it's a fun day for you. Next week, hey, by the way, we're going to do that next week. We're going to get you guys on the program, I promise. Okay? Please hit the like button. I don't think Brandon will take shots at Big Sills. Okay? I don't think if he yells Dotson, we're going to know, man. Okay? We're going to know. And we're going to know even more. So we got AJ Brown and Slay taking shots at me. Hey, Sills, is the same as they played great, but they earned the heat. We earned it. Now we need to protect it. I love that, Bob. That's fantastic. Okay. Hey, Sills, anything is possible. Holy shit. I got shots being taken at me by AJ Brown and Big Play Slay. Good grief. And it's just little old Sills here. Okay. Starting saying Jalen Hurts still can't throw. So we can whoop some ass in 25, Senor. RC3. Crowd is chanting, fuck Sills. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Crowd's chanting, fuck Sileo. RC3, man. You guys, hey, can I tell you, man, what I love about you guys, honest to God, you give me as much shit as I give you, and you fuckers can take it. That's what I love about the show. Thank you, man. Thank you for not being so sensitive. You should have seen me doing sports talk in San Diego. Bunch of fucking snowflakes. I'd always watch what I was saying because they couldn't get it. They didn't know sarcasm, and they're not from the East Coast. Okay? They're just not. There's a different breed of dude, man. And girl. Thank you, Sue. Okay? Hey, man. Hey, Sue. Am I getting ready to go? Am I getting ready to get pinned here by the Eagle fan base and the players? Am I getting ready to get, okay? Senor, you act more like an asshole and a Philly guy like I do. All good. Hey, by the way, hey, Senor, that don't mean Crenshaw, South Central, or Grand, or Oakland, okay? Or where Eric Allen is from in San Diego, or Corvina. So, you know what I'm saying? Glendale and then play. Don't worry. I don't mean them joints. How you doing? Okay, so just we're there with that, Senor. Congratulations. The parade's over. Kudos to the Eagles. You deserve it. Okay. 17, they're saying, was way longer. Well, that's probably because it was your first. Hey, man, now you got to start acting like champions. You know, parades, this is what we're kind of used to. Fuck it, you know. We'll have a parade here, have a parade there. I'll tell you, the most disappointing person today has to be Jason Kelsey. I don't know about you, but human nature is this. God dang, they were better than we were in 17 without me. Hey, nobody likes to win a war without the guy who they thought was the number one general. Damn, they did it with someone else. I know Kelsey was out there. I saw it. Okay? You know for a fact he's this. He's got to be disappointed. Okay? And by the way, he's a great, hey, his resume speaks for itself too. He's a great Eagle. Human nature, though. Yeah. I saw him in normal street clothes. He should, because it's the 2024 guy's turn. He picked Jurgen. Hey, I'm not saying he's not important to the franchise. I don't care what you say, though. Nobody wants to see a football team win a championship the first year retire. Hey, how do you Fletcher Cox and they were right they were right when those guys retired. They got better in the run defense without Fletcher Cox, and they got better at the center position without Jason Kelsey. You can't get around that either. That's true. They elevated the play. Damn. A.J. Brown and Darius Slay taking shots at Big Sills. Crowd chanting, fuck Big Sills. Oh, man, what a tough crowd. Oh, man. All good. Appreciate you guys. Starting hour number 2. Give me a total where we are in the likes. All supers go to the top. Want to hear from you guys today on a Super Bowl Friday. It's a Super Bowl Friday. Okay, it is. It's a Super Bowl Friday here, man. I love what the Eagles did with the past, present Philadelphia Eagles. It's always great to celebrate the past, and it's always great to celebrate what can become. Okay? Say hello to the bad guy. Philly's bad guy, Big Sills. Okay? Low likes today because people are at the parade. Senor, totally understand. Totally understand. I'd be disappointed if we had a shitload. We'll catch up in the back end here. Hey, I'd be disappointed, wouldn't you? I'd be disappointed. That meant nobody went. New York Giants did the same thing the year after Tiki retired. Tiki Barber, I can't stand that guy. Right? How you doing, JoJo? Congratulations to you, man. Sills, you love it. Oh, I do love it. Samara Patch. Hey, got the Eagle guys up there on stage all hammered and shit. Fuck Sileo. Look at me, I'm a champion. Is that right? You get your desserts. You deserve them. You earned them. You absolutely earned them. Sills, I wanted to hear Nick say, they call me Sirianni. He's a baggage handler. Yeah. Oh, man. Jose, hey, Sills, your heat made them win a bowl. Hey, I don't know about this, but let's not get around it, man. The players were taking shots at Big Sills. Nobody in that market takes more shots than me. Kelsey was technically still on the team with void years. Okay. Yeah, those void years, you know what you can do with them there, Hollywood. Whatever. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. What a day. Holy cow. All super chats go to the top, too. I'm just sitting here relaxing. And AJ and Slayer taking shots at me at the parade, and I'm still tuned in. Go, Bert. Dude, Ramir. Do you know how many people sent me videos today of you guys all down there, the Big Sills Army, down there on Broad Street? I have so many videos tonight I'm going to send out. I can't thank you enough. By the way, if you want to, hey, Ramir, did you send me one too? I think you sent me one too. I think it was a gift though. Somebody sent me one. And it was just totally people hammered, having a great time. And I'm going to post all these on my Twitter page. And by the way, if you're watching, you're still down there, do me a favor. post them at Dan Sileo Show on my X account, and I swear to God, I'll follow you back. Anybody who posts videos today from being down there at that parade, I followed back today. So we'll do that, all right? You guys were great. By the way, you deserve it, man. Next week, we'll get some of you on. Howie Scarface with I bleed green quote. Instant classic. I bleed green. Could that mean jet green? I'm saying, no. It's Super Bowl Friday, Sills. It's Super Bowl Friday. Don't go anywhere near that. All right. I got you, man. Wait until Howie speaks, Sills. Might be your Super Bowl. Yeah. No, I got AJ in big play Slay. I said that he wasn't a cover corner. He said we got two of them. All right. AJ said I'm a diva. You know, I only care about numbers. Well, at least I'm a champion. I'm like, fuck. All right. Man, little old Sills here on the national show, taking shots from people on Philly. Okay. I can still remember when Jeffrey Lurie bought the team. He said we're winning Super Bowls. Dude, he's been a great owner. I don't care, man. Since he bought the team, and since actually, if you want to go here, Blaine, since 2020. Since 2000. Every coach he's hired has had a winning record. They've won 4 conference championships. I think 19 playoff appearances since he bought the team in 94, 95. 2 Super Bowl wins. Dude, he has. He's changed it from what Norman Brayman had. Okay, he did. Changed it from Norman Brayman. He flipped a switch on this thing. I mean, absolutely did it. It was great. I'm going to rank the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles, their championship football team. I'm going to rank all. I only went 30 deep. I didn't want to get into the weeds too much. Okay. So I ranked them. We're going to do that here in a minute here, but fantastic stuff. I love reading all your comments here. By the way, that's where I'm going more so today. Because again, this is about comments and taking. Hey, if Darius Slay and AJ could take shots at me, so can you guys. Don't let your big head get that big, Sills. 1,000% sure you're not the only person called AJ a diva. In Philly, who else? I'll wait, Ryan. Who else? You know why they didn't? Because the Eagles wouldn't put players on those stations in Philly if they did. They wouldn't. That's how they operate. How you doing? Who? Who called him a diva? I'm curious. Name me a host in Philly that did that. Said he was only concerned about stats. Okay. Sills, years of bad takes? You mean when I picked you to go to the Super Bowl in 22? Like that one, right? How you doing? Abe goes, me. Hey, Abe, I appreciate you. You're part of this thing too, because you're part of the show. Okay, but I was talking more about the WIP guys. Did Seth? Nope. Name me another one. JoJo, I'm in Tampa next year. I'll go to the parade, Sills. Hey, JoJo, you're in Tampa. It's one of my favorite cities. I enjoyed living there, and I enjoyed playing there, and I enjoyed being there. Okay? How you doing, Travis? You know, hey, Angelo at least owns it. Cataldi had the best take. 5-win team. Man, I'll tell you. Yeah. Hey, right? Thank you, Drew. I appreciate it. That's what the show has been always about from day one that we started doing sports talk 38 years ago. Was that, what was it? What did Senor say? He goes like, yeah, Sileo's a bandwagon. And so, yeah, that's probably what we do after 38 years of being in this. Angelo doesn't know football, never has. That's not what his views say. I'll tell you that. No, I didn't, brother. I had you at 9 wins, actually. I had you at 9 wins. Look at my man. Hey, New Jersey Maniac, I have a bucket list. Okay? I have a bucket list. Because I guess you and Brooks go on these fishing exploits of yours. I'm going to go fishing with you. I'm an old school fisherman. I'm a flounder guy. I used to go flounder fishing with my pop in Long Island, Long Island Sound. And I promise you, dude. And plus, I used to go catch tuna with Coach Johnson down in the Keys. Okay? So I used to go down there, man. I'm a big fisherman. Lobster, clammed, blue shell crabs. Hey, New Jersey Maniac. You know what my grandpa used to do? Hey, get this, Maniac. My grandpa would get a hanger. We would put chicken on the end of the hanger. My grandpa would have a kite rope, and we would go down off a bridge, and these blue shell crab guys would just connect up, and we would catch these blue shell crabs. Me and my Uncle Mike and my grandpa. Crazy. Dude, I love the East Coast. Sills, 2 questions. You heard anything about the OC? I think the more it goes on, Tyler, I think more it favors Kevin Patullo getting the job. And is Clint or any other assistant going with Kellen? I saw Kellen shoot back at Nick saying that, hey, this is how you get elevated into positions where, Nick Saban had a rule too. He didn't like coaches that went on like Kirby Smart. Kirby took a bunch of players to Georgia with him. He always fucking hated that. A lot of coaches hate that. These are my coaches. Well, that's not how it works, Nick. And he knows that. That's how Nick got elevated. Nick got taken away from Frank Reich's coaching staff. So he should respect that. He's a former assistant coach. That's how he got a job. You know what I'm saying? Man, hey, I'll tell you this, Ryan. It says lion sack is shit. He doesn't go fishing. I don't go fishing anymore. I was raised by a fisherman. You don't know. Dude, I lobstered for about, my aunt watches. I lobstered for about 12 years with my pop, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every other day to pull 275 lobster pots. And we would catch flounder in our lobster pots and schoongeal. My pop was a fireman and he was a fisherman. And I was his helper. For about 15 years, I'd go out on the boat with him and we would pull lobster pots. So don't tell me about fishing. I don't anymore. But I said I would love it. By the way, I heard the flounder now has been overfished. I hear they're small as shit. We used to get these enormous flounders. No more do you get that. From what I heard, they overfished it, right? New Jersey Maniac. Guys, do me a favor. Hit the bucket or hit the like bucket. Hit the like. We appreciate it. Give me a total on the likes. Sills, my bucket list is for you to comment during my live stream. One day, 9 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern. I want to see Big Sills there. You got a date. You support me, bro. I'll support you. If you notice, man, you don't see me anywhere else. Only here. Do you know how many opportunities we get to go? Do you know this week? I got offered to go on WFAN, and I said no. I get offered all the time to go around radio stations in Chicago with Mike North and all these guys out in Los Angeles. I got a guy who's pestering me to go on his show, ESPN in LA, and I say no. You know why? My content's right here. Now, if you're a guy like Carton or somebody else who comes on the program, I always reciprocate. And I always go on those shows who help our show. Like Lamar Thomas does a show in South Florida. He's a former Cane. I help recruit him. I go on his show. So that's how I do it. If you come on the program, I'll help you. If You don't, and I don't know you, chances are very slim. Okay? Very slim. So that's why, hey, guys, you don't see me everywhere. I don't do that. I used to do that shit all the time. I don't do that. I don't. As a matter of fact, I got asked to do something nationally during the Super Bowl, and I said no. Let's see here. We're only in jeopardy of losing 4 starters. We got guys like Hunt, Steen, Ojamo, and we could have them step up. We just blew out the Chiefs. We can take a step back and still repeat. Let's see if that's the case. Okay, so Isaiah Rodgers, you want him back, right? Again, I don't want on a Friday here to get into too much free agency talk. But just to answer your question, Isaiah Rodgers is not a starter, but he's like a swing tackle corner. Okay, so I think he's important. I think they'll bring him back, right? Both starting linebackers in the Super Bowl are free agents. You got to think about that. Booker's a free agent. That's your backup D tackle. And you're going to lose both ends. You're going to lose Milton. Milton's not really an end. He's a tackle, right? So you're going to lose 2 guys off the front 4. Maybe. Here on a Friday, I don't know. Okay? I don't know. Okay? I have no idea right now. None. Everybody's in a festive spirit today. Had one of the great parades. I don't know, right? I don't know. Slay wants to leave. I don't think Slay. Here, I'll tell you what Slay should do. If this is me, here's what I would do if I were Slay and Drew Rosenhaus. He wants to play one more year. I think his base. I think he's going to make $9 million this coming year. You know what I would do? I would say this to the Eagles. Tell you what I'll do. I'll bump this down to 6. And if I can get incentives, okay? If I can get incentives to get me up near that 9, and you give me some money up front, I'll restructure that. Let's just do a 1-year deal. I'll be in for that. I'd be up for that. I'd like Slay back. Xander and I were both right on him. Always hurt and played well. 2 things were true with him. Yeah, but Ray, replacing Slay is going to be tougher than you think. It'll be tougher. It'll be tougher. Hey, listen, I don't know if that's the conversation today, but Denny, no, I don't. No, I don't want a 34-year-old corner starting. No, I don't. Oh, man, that's really great to see. Look at this. What did you guys say? Here it is. Almost 2 million Eagle fans at the parade. That's an NFL record. Damian, does it shock you? Doesn't shock me. Great stuff, guys. Kudos. Absolutely enormous. Good for you, man. A great day. Okay. Michael G. Me and him go back and forth. Big Sills. Stay honest and speak the truth. Good or bad. I want your opinions about the Eagles. Go Birds. Let me tell you my opinion of your team right now on February 14th. Without the eagle-colored glasses on. It's going to be a pretty tough task for a team in the NFC to dethrone you. I wrote these teams down that I ranked teams in the NFC. And I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough task to dethrone you. The Cowboys are nowhere in the conversation, in my opinion. But I don't see it. Teams in the NFC that could take you out. I would put it this way. If I were to rank the NFC teams right now that could give the Eagles any kind of issues, number 1 team for me is Washington. And by the way, do I think they're anywhere near you? No. But here's what I would say. They got $100 million in cap space. They got 10 draft picks. They got a really good general manager who I really love, Adam Peters. And they got a really good foundation in coaching. Now, do they go out and get T? Here, let me ask you this. If Washington goes out and signs and makes a trade, or signs, I should say, T. Higgins and brings in Myles Garrett, does that make them more formidable? I think that makes them more formidable to come after Philly. I think they need a more dominant running game. Take some of the shit away from Jaden Daniels because Jaden did too much. But I'm going to put Washington there. Here's what I'm going to say about Detroit. I have a different opinion of people on Detroit. People think Detroit's roster is going to be good enough. I think those loss of both coordinators is going to be a problem for them. So if I'm Philly, I lose Kellen. Okay. But how much was really Kellen part of the success of the team? He was. But Saquon was the guy. So I think that's going to be an easier putt to replace, especially if you go from within. Remember what I said a couple days ago to you guys? I said that if they improve the passing game 5 to 10%, Kevin Patullo is the perfect guy to hire. I just saw a report that Garrett will be going to Detroit. Holy shit. Aiden Hutchinson and Myles Garrett on both ends of their pass rush, that's formidable. Okay. Remember something. Teams are going to be desperate now to catch Philly in the NFC. There's going to be desperation moves. And when we talk about your team, we're not talking about salary cap here. We're talking about competitive people out there that have money to make things happen. Somebody offers you more money. This is going to come down to what the player wants in his life. Is the grass greener on the other side? Do I have a better chance of getting back to the Super Bowl? What's the best place for me? Hey, I don't think the grass is greener on the other side in a lot of places. Front office, head coach, players on the roster, all that has to play into it. Because if it's about a bag of money, which players are, I don't begrudge them for that. Myles Garrett in Detroit would be unbelievable. That would be unbelievable. I think they need corner help too. And I think they need maybe some safety help. You said Eagles would never win a Super Bowl with Hurts. I surely did, Jeff. Congratulations to you. Way to go. He won the Super Bowl. He completely changed the narrative. Yeah, congratulations. Let's say this to you. I'll say it again. If everybody thought Jalen Hurts was going to win a Super Bowl, he'd have been a first rounder. Can't bring in mercenaries and say you're better. Yeah, well, you did. You did. I mean, right? You brought in Zach Bond. Slay's a mercenary. You got a bunch of guys on your team like that. I don't think you can have continuity. I think that's a tougher putt. I do. Listen, I think because you bring Myles Garrett in, does that mean that they're better than Philly? No, I don't think so. I think it moves the sticks closer, but I don't think you're better. Right now, I don't think there's a roster better in the league than what you have. On February 14th, that could change. March 13th, when the new league starts, that could change. I don't know. Today? Super Bowl Friday? No. Okay. Let's say. Yeah, but Sills, you didn't say we were better. We proved we were better. That's what I think he's saying. Well, you prove wouldn't you rather have somebody prove you're better than have somebody say they're better? My comment has no relevance. I mean, you can't argue when you win a Super Bowl. What do you want me to argue? Dead air? I'm not sure what you're looking for. Well, Sills, You're not saying, and I'm like, what are you, Jeff McClain? I got to put things in fucking parentheses? Guys, you won the Super Bowl. You proved your point. Resume. I'm a resume guy. You know that since I came on the air here. Drew, maybe I did. I apologize if I did. Sills, I love Frank at OC. Nick and Lori love and respect him. They surely do. Okay, he knows the culture would not outshine Nick. That being said, I want Gruden more. Yeah, well, that's not happened. Drew, I apologize here if I did. 188 likes, not bad. Here on a Super Bowl Friday, not bad. Dude, if I had 700 likes like I did the other day or 900 likes like I did the other day, I would think your fan base is shitty. Now that the parade's over, we can ramp it up again. Okay? Good for you, man. What did you think? I was expecting like 7,000 likes today? I wasn't. I know what to expect, but now they're coming in. Kudos to you guys. Michael G. I think last year and this year proved that the team chemistry and togetherness really matter. Yes, year-to-year changes, schedule, free agent players, loss of players will make getting back to the Super Bowl more difficult. Hey, Michael, you know what's crazy is that everyone in Philadelphia today, and they should, is talking about multiple Super Bowls in the years to come. Well, the NFL doesn't like dynasties. So this is what the Eagles have. You know how the NFL sets the deck against teams like Philly? Well, first and foremost, teams come in and poach your coaches. Then they come in and poach your players. Then they give you the toughest schedule in the league, right? And then they give you the 32nd pick in every round of the draft. That's what makes it difficult. I mean, they make it hard on you for a reason. And Michael, that's what you're saying, I'm assuming, right? I mean, they set it before you even really get into free agency or anything. The NFL sets the deck on you before you even put a helmet on for 2025. Okay, am I right? That's why I love this game, because the narrative can be changed. Absolutely why I love it. The full 180 on Hurts pulled off is incredible. Absolutely, absolutely true. That's what I actually love about the NFL and pro football and football in general. You can change a narrative on who you are with one game. One game. Because here's why. Unlike politics, the political landscape, how many people heard this for the last 8 years? He didn't win the election. 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 He won it this way. In sports, there's a scoreboard. That can't be changed. It's why politicians, actors, and everybody gravitate to sports. You know why? It is set in stone, and the stone is the scoreboard. Scoreboard. Stills. Hurts won't do this. Hurts won't do that. Scoreboard. Scoreboard. Dan, thanks for rolling it up, bro. Only thing left is to admit Hurts can read defenses. I'll tell you this, what he did in the Super Bowl, and it's coming out even more and more, and Spagnuolo even said it too. Hurts was ahead of his checkdowns the entire Super Bowl. He was more prepared than Patrick Mahomes was. That's quite a comment from Spagnuolo. That's quite a comment. Steve Spagnuolo said that Hurts was ahead of his reads the entire game, knew where to go with the ball, had a great understanding of where to go with it. Preparation was at its all-time high for him. I'll make this point to you. It's the greatest game he's ever played as an Eagle. Will we not agree? Hey, by the way, just to be fair, Josh Sweat was 2 votes off of being the MVP in that game. He thinks he should have won it, but It's okay to say that going into free agency because he's trying to up his value. I get that. You're not going to win the MVP award. Reggie White had 2.5 sacks when he was with the Packers. They weren't going to give it to Reggie White either. Okay? So, I get what he meant. Okay, but this is the best game he's ever played. And a game that mattered the most. As a matter of fact, the last 8 quarters of the season were his best games. And that's the games that mattered the most. Dude, beating or barely beating Carolina or barely beating Jacksonville, that shit goes away with those 2 games. Those are the Tiffany games. How well do you play in them games? Joe Montana is gauged off those games. Tom Brady's gauged off those games. He's not gauged off of beating the Jets. Howie caught a Bud Light. Of all cans, a Bud Light to the forehead. Still delivered the speech. Michael, why couldn't it have been like a Philly beer or like a decent beer? Why did it have to be a Bud Light? I'm sorry, not a Bud Light. Holy cow! I guarantee you, nobody in the Krauss family drinks Bud Lights. Hey, no way. Bud Light? How we got hit in the head with a Bud Light of all beers, man? I'd rather take a pocket knife out and cut my own forehead like I'm into wrestling again, not a Bud Light. What kind of beer can did you get hit with? A Bud Light? Oh, God. No, please. Hey, I'd be like this. Hey, Jason Kelsey, can you fucking throw a Budweiser at my head, please? Hey, somebody hit me. Hey, no, Michelobes. They're kind of floating in that room, too. Hit me with a Budweiser or hit me with a Corona or something. I don't know. Hey, if you want to be political, hit me with a Corona. Don't hit me with a Bud Light. How we got hit with a Bud Light? You know what? I'm not going to rip the Gator guy because it's Super Bowl Friday, so he gets a reprieve today. I'll be back at it on Monday. Yeah, but yeah, or Pat. Hey, I'd rather get hit in the face with a Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's an Americana beer, there, man. Okay, not a Bud Light. Howie, hey, did you hear, Sills? Somebody hit Howie in the head with a Bud Light. Of course they did. Philadelphia throwing Bud Lights? Man, how un-Philly. Yeah. What did they throw it like this? I'm sorry. Old Milwaukee, I'll hit that. I'll take that, man. Old Milwaukee. Yeah, hey, when Howie, yeah. Somebody threw you don't throw it like, you throw it normally, but you throw a Bud Light like this, kind of like a grenade. Oh, man. Do me a favor, please. Hit the like button. Thank you very much, Michael. How he got caught in the head with a Bud Light. Still delivered the speech. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, man. Yuling, America's oldest brewery. All right. I'm in there with that. Hey, I'll even take a Rolling Rock to the head. It's not a Bud Light. Oh, man. Hey, by the way, it's Super Bowl Friday. All you guys, again, congratulations to you. First it was snowballs at Santa, then batteries. Now Bud Light to Howie's Dome. There you go, Adrian. Oh. Hey, Sills, Bud Light is making a comeback. Getting hit in the face with a Bud Light is like getting slapped in the face with a all super chats go to the top. Unfortunately, this might go to the bottom. Wait, I'm not sure I could say bottom. Oh, man. Everybody's liquored up and having a good time. Yeah, I drank a Bud Light once, and I thought I was drinking my own urine. Sorry, Special K. Hit the like button. Yeah. Oh, I know Budweiser's no longer an American beer. I got it. Somebody bought them. I'm not going to say who, but Budweiser shut down the Latrobe Rolling Rock plants. You're kidding me, man. I love Rolling Rock as a kid. That beer doesn't taste the same. Dude, I love Rolling Rock when I was a kid. I drink that shit all the time, man. That and Ballantine. My grandpa liked Ballantine. And what was the other one? Schaefer beer. We'd have Schaefer beer and Ballantine in my grandpa's basement. I used to try snaking it out all the time, but my neighbor would always bark me out. Oh, my God, the city probably smells piss. Hey, it's championship piss, Sue. Come on, Sue. You know, we got Special K doing the show here, and I'm gonna tell her she refuses to wear red bottoms for me. She don't want red bottom shoes. How could you not want Louis Vuitton? I mean, who in the world, in their right mind, doesn't want Louis Vuitton shoes on? She was like, nah, not me. I don't want any Louis Vuitton. I want green on the bottom of my shoes. Okay. Yeah. She was like, no red bottoms. I'm like, damn, Sue. You must be like the Swifties. Dude, that shirt that Gardner Johnson was wearing was absolutely hilarious. I mean, hey, it's kind of a family show, I think. But, dude, Gardner Johnson has to be one of the greatest Gator shit talkers of all time. Okay? Yeah. Wallace, thank you for coming aboard, Wallace. I haven't seen you in here, I don't think, that many times. Sills, one thing is right. Mahomes now has to respect Hurts because he beat him. I don't think Mahomes respects Purdy. How about this? Wallace, I made this point the other day. The rivalry in the NFL is not with any other quarterback, with Jalen Hurts with Patrick Mahomes. He's 2-2 versus him now. Regular season and Super Bowls. And in the two most important games, he's completely outplayed him. I mean, Allen can't beat him in the postseason, right? Lamar can't beat him in the postseason. Burrow kind of does. Jalen does. So, you know, I forgot to throw this topic out. I forgot to throw this topic out the other day. So let me ask you this about Hurts. The face of the NFL. Could he ever be the face of the NFL? Could Jalen Hurts ever be the face of the league? One of my favorites, Des the Joe. Sills, do you now go, if the Eagles can make it back to the championship, do you have less questions about them being able to perform effectively? As an organization, yes, Des. Yes. By the way, a lot of those narratives are this. Hey, you got to play more in the preseason. You got to go out there and get yourself. Well, not really. I'd rather be playing great football in February than September. That turned out to be exactly that. So their way they do business can't be actually, again, last 3 years, they've been to 2 Super Bowls doing it this way. I'd be an idiot to go, they need to play in the preseason. Who fucking would say that anymore? That's gone. Well, still, they're not playing. Watch this. First week in September, they're going to play. Maybe they lose. Okay? Is that going to matter? No. Why? Because in the end result, the last 2 years, they've been to the Super Bowl. In this last year, they didn't have a really good September. So what? Do you understand how that now, like I said, because you won the game, it changes everything. Well, Jalen's got to play in the preseason. No, he doesn't. Because Des, the way they do business changed it. I could sit here and argue, oh, they need to play. And it doesn't matter what I say. Their resume speaks to different. Okay? It's just different now. Hurts being the face. You think the league would want him being the face? of the league. You know why I think that's a struggle? He doesn't put up sexy numbers. Face of the league right now is who? Mahomes. They promote Allen more. They promote Lamar more, for that matter. Why? Fantasy football, gambling. I mean, if you think about it, gambling and fantasy football really dictate. Hey, Troy Aikman was never the face. Was Brady ever the face of the league? No. Manning was. Right? Manning was the face of the league. Better personality, had more commercials, Papa John's. I never saw Brady forever doing anything in the NFL. He didn't even have a social media account until those last 2 years in New England. He didn't do any of that shit. It was all Peyton. Peyton this, Peyton that. Last name helps, obviously, the Manning name. Brady was never the face of the league. They wanted other people to be the face. Patrick, you know who's been the face of the league the last couple of years? Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes. It was never Brady. And what I mean by that is more nationally televised games. The league promoting you more, which means more visibility. Hey, that shit matters with Hall of Fame. Look at Sterling Sharp. See, Hurts earns his shit. A lot of this stuff is entitled to some of these other guys. Jalen has a great comeback story. Why not? Des, I like that. I think you make movies over that shit like Kurt Warner. Okay, like Kurt Warner. The NCAA does not produce pro-style quarterbacks anymore. Do you see organizations trying to mirror Philly's success? Trenches, efficient quarterback, and running game. Linemen and running backs are easier to find. I don't think, the free agent market, Bob, was probably the greatest free agent market of running backs I've ever seen. Okay? They were probably the greatest I've ever seen. The guy in Green Bay, obviously Saquon, you Derrick Henry in Baltimore, Josh Jacobs, Green Bay, was one of the greatest free agent markets I've ever seen. Is that same kind of talent going to be out there? I don't really see. Like I wrote down the other day, here are your running backs coming out that are your top three guys. The genetic kid from Boise State, Hampton from UNC, and Scadaboo from Arizona State. Are those guys game-changing players? You know who Scadaboo reminds me of? Mike Allstott. You guys remember Mike Allstott? He reminds me of Mike Allstott a little. So I don't know, Bob. I know that a lot of pro-style people, they still want to win from the pocket. And for you to be able to have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, you need to have a general manager and owner that are going to build the team the same way that they've built that team around Hurts. Okay? Because you're going to have a lot of great players around those dual threat kids. By the way, if you're able to do that, you're able not to have a problem giving that money up front, then you can build the team. Seals, what's your level of confidence in the team being hunted and not the hunter? Here's the difference, Brian, with this team compared to the 22-17 team. You didn't have any windows with those teams. The only reason you have a window now is because your younger players of 2 years ago stepped up this year. Or we'd be in the same conversation of a conveyor belt next year. And I wouldn't know what your window was because there's so much uncertainty on defense. Remember, you're starting to see longer-term deals because they're on rookie deals on defense. Let's not forget what you lost. You lost both linebackers after 22. You lost an 11-sack defensive tackle after 22. You lost every single backup with Linval Joseph and Adama Sue. Okay? I mean, you lost a ton of people off that team. You lost Marcus Epps. You lost 5 of your top 9 tacklers that year after that season. There's no coincidence why you ended up fading towards the end, because you didn't have a very good tackling football team in 23. Scatterboo kind of reminds me of Peyton Hillis, the kid who used to play for the Browns. It's a good comparison too. Okay, that's right. So the key is the defense is young, and plus you have a cornerstone that's in the middle. And what you want to do, Sue, I'll show you something here. After 2022, you tell me if this was the case compared to what you got going on now going into this offseason here. After 2022, you lost an 11-sack guy in the middle of your defense, and Javon Hargrave, signed for $20 million. You lost TJ Edwards in the middle of your defense, and you lost Gardner Johnson. So up the heart of your defense, you lost those 3 players. This year coming back in the heart of your defense, Carter's back. Still determined on Bond. And in your secondary, you got CJ coming back. You've got Sidney Brown, excuse me. Got Reed in there. These are up the middle of your team. And you got both LBs potentially coming back. So the middle of your defense and the heart of your defense is in better shape in this offseason than it was after the 22 season. So you're better up the middle. That's a key. Okay? You're better up the middle this time. And they're younger. As an Alabama native and diehard Eagle fan, I'm with you guys in spirit today. In Philadelphia, enjoy it. Everyone wish I was there. Des, you are there. You're there in spirit, man. It's all good. Hey, when you're a fan of something like that, it's all good. It's all good. Scatterboo's a 5th rounder. Somewhere 3rd, 5th. Sure. I'd love to have him on the Eagles, given rest for Saquon Barkley. I would love to have that. By the way, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Give me an update on where we are in the likes. I'm very proud of you on this football Super Bowl Friday, that you've come here and you've given us the likes. We've had a monster week here on this program. Our interviews are over the top. It's one of the best weeks we've ever had. 229, absolutely fantastic. I am so thrilled with that. Okay? Very good. Keep it up, guys. See if we can get to 300 by the end of the program. That would be insane. Us getting there too. James Cook, $25 million. I like James Cook. Okay. Puka Nacua was the first pick in the 5th round. You want to hear something? Some of the great players at the wide receiver position. AJ's a 2nd rounder. Devontae Adams is a 2nd rounder. I think Cooper Kupp was a 2nd rounder. Most of the great wide receivers in the game were 2nd round picks or later. Not every one of them are superstars and 1st rounders. Most of these guys are 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks. Antonio Brown was a 6th round pick. Steelers always had a great way of manipulating and drafting players. And Miguel brings up James Pierce. Will he be available at 32? You know, I've seen multiple draft boards with him, Miguel. I've seen him as high as 10. I've seen him as low as 23. He's talking about the kid from Tennessee. He's an edge rusher. Miguel, I like the kid Jack Sawyer. Now, I've seen him as high as 13, and I've seen him as low as 28. It's all going to depend on where the quarterbacks go in this upcoming April draft. Okay? And free agency. And what Myles Garrett does, Miguel. Miguel, if Myles Garrett goes to one of the top, you know what you guys are hoping for? Trey Hendrickson gets traded. This is what I would hope at 32 if I were the Eagles. That Trey Hendrickson and Myles Garrett gets traded to New England or Washington. You know why? because that slides down the draft prospects like Pierce, the kid from Marshall, Sawyer. It pushes them down to 32 and gives you a better shot to land on a great player. And especially if that happens, I might trade out of that and get multiple seconds, not have to pay the first round penalty for a player at 32. That's not a bad place to be down there at 32 because the board starts to straighten itself out with best player available at 32. And what happens there is at best player available, then you get to pick your, okay, do I need an edge? Do I need a tackle? Do I need a linebacker? How about offensive line? They hit Howie with a beer can and booed the mayor. So Philly. Seals, I love you, brother. You bring it every day. I don't always agree with you, but I always respect your opinion. Chris, you're perfect for this program. This is why we kill it here. Is because of guys like Chris. Here, I wrote these down here. I wrote the order here. By the way, congratulations. I'm going to keep saying it for your Super Bowl Friday. Great celebration. Everybody's excited. You should be. Get this. For a football guy like me, you get all the kudos today. Okay? Fans, you got 6 months of it. Football people will give you 1 day. Then they're back at it. Shit, Jalen was talking about it 2 days ago. Hey, we're behind. You know what a panic that is when you're behind? Because you've gone so deep and you're behind your workouts, getting healthier. Hey, man, look at Landon Dickerson. You know what everybody said this week when I put out there that Landon Dickerson's going to have knee surgery? Landon Dickerson's got less time to heal and recover. His offseason it's shorter for recovery. Well, he'll be okay. Well, fuck, that's not the case. So next week he'll go in for surgery. And depending on what they find in there, will he be ready for training camp? Probably. Now, if he was Dallas, you have surgery in January, the first week. You're going to be there for mini camps, or at least the last one. You understand? The deeper you go, the less time in the offseason you have to recover and heal. That's what Jalen's doing too. Jalen needs about a week. And to find out if anything on his body is broken, needs any kind of repair, does he need his knee flushed? Hey, man, he got banged up. Concussion, knee injury at the end. That guy needs a little respite. I'm not talking about 4 weeks. I'm talking about like 10, 15 days just to recover. Okay? I mean, like I said, that's what the offseason is. It's great. Then again, well, then what you should do too, I'm awake or you should tell Jalen to relax. Because that's what I'm just echoing what he said. Don't get upset, man. I'm repeating what your quarterback said. You all see Dickerson's been back on in and off with the double team and absolutely smashed a linebacker attempting to crash in. He's such a good football player. You fucking relax. Somebody threw a beer at Howie. That's probably going to be the biggest story today, besides the speeches. And once again here, man, I don't know. Hey, Big Sil's got shots taken at him today by the players. I don't know, man. Hey, maybe I should motivate him again. They say I'm a diva. I only care about numbers. Holy shit. Then Slay's like, hey, we don't have lockdown corners. We got 2 of them. Yeah. Oh, man. There's only one dude that talks like that and barks that shit. You know where it is. Right here. Where we got a-holes like I'm awake or you and Big Sills. How you doing? All right. I wrote these positions down here. I'm going to keep saying it. Congratulations. What a great day, man. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that Howie got hit with a Bud Light. I'll leave it there. A Bud Light? Come on, man. Come on. All right? Come on now. All right. Here, I wrote these down. Edge, DT, OT, linebacker, tight end, and running back. I think you need an edge. I don't know what it looks like. Free agent. Would I go free agent? No. I don't want to spend money. I already spend the money on that stupid Huff. So I'm going to go in the draft. DT. Can I pick up a defensive tackle that's not going to cost me a ton of money? Yeah, I can, especially if the Saints start dumping people again. Here's the team. You know, the teams you look at are the teams that are like the Saints, the Buffalo Bills, places like that are so far over the salary cap. You just wait for them guys to release good players. So remember, when you're building this team, look at the two things you have at the end of the day. And I also got to say this: if you're Buffalo, how about this here, right, Yale? Check this out. If you're a team like Buffalo and you're a team like Baltimore and you got cap space issues and you haven't won a Super Bowl, that's a massive failure. Like, look at Buffalo, $19 million over the cap, dude, and you haven't won. What are you spending money on? Okay? You're not spending money on winning, right? I mean, you're not spending money on winning. Let's see here. Cam Jordan to Philly maybe sells. God, he's a Hall of Fame player. I think he's got 10 Pro Bowls. Here's the teams you look at. Cleveland, dumping players. Seattle, dumping players. Buffalo, Miami, Atlanta, Tampa. Kansas City's only $5 million over the cap. Kansas City's got to cut good players. Eagles right now are sitting at $24 million over, with restructuring coming. Shit, dude. Front office-wise, they're in a great place. They're in an absolutely brilliant place. Hit the like button, guys. Do me a favor, please. Give me a total on where we are in the likes. Like Cam Jordan. God, we got a bunch of stuff here, especially on a Super Bowl Friday. Congratulations to you here. Let's get into where we're going to go here with. I ranked these guys. This is the Big Sills Fabulous 30. This is how I see your football team this year. And I ranked the top 30 Eagles on Super Bowl Friday. Congratulations. These were the guys, the 30 men that went out and won you your second Super Bowl. And I put them in chronological order here. And you tell me. Number 1, Saquon Barkley's 2024. Would we not agree? Can you name me a better season in Eagle history than Saquon Barkley? Has anybody ever had a better year in the history of the program? Brian Westbrook put up some pretty good years. Shady put up good years. Wentz had a great year. That 4,000 passing year was great. T.O. had a great year. Has there ever been a year like Barkley's year in the history of the Eagles? I'm going to say no. Hit the like button, guys. Have you ever seen it? A better year than him. No. Randall had some big years. He did. Reggie Brown. Oh, you mean AJ? 253. Thank you. Guys, we got a shot at 300. Very good. I'm going to say that Barkley's had the greatest year in Eagle history. Congratulations. He is Eagle number 1. I get Zach Bond number 2. I'm trying to think of a better linebacker play than what he did this year. Maybe a Trent Cole year, a Seth year, a Jeremiah Trotter senior year. I can't think that they had better years than him. Oh, by the way, I love that Josh Sweat had on the Chris Long fur. That was dope. He had the Chris Long fur on today. Way to go, man. Good stuff. Number 3, AJ. AJ Brown continues to impress. Really a great year. Number 4, I had Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter continues to improve. I'm ranking the 2024 Super Bowl champion Eagles. Jalen Carter, number 4. Number 5, Jalen Hurts. He played in the 2 best games and most important games of the year, his best. The rest of it was what they asked him to do. He played within a system. They asked him to play that way, and so he obliged them by playing that way. That's how I see his season. But it was instrumental in them winning a Super Bowl and how he played and how he took a back seat. And in the biggest moments, he delivered when it needed to be. So kudos to him. I got him at number 5. So kudos to him. Nobody would ever say that Jalen Hurts outplayed Carter this year, Bond this year, or Barkley. Nobody. Number 6, Jordan Mailata. What a great year. He's rapidly turning himself into one of the – can you think of all the great left tackles that you've – Trey Thomas, Jason Peters, and now you have Jordan Mailata. Man, that is a tradition that you're building at left tackle. He is a fabulous athlete. I said this before. I think he's maybe him and Barkley are your 2 best athletes that you have on the football team. Jordan Mailata is a hell of a football player, man. Rapidly becoming one of my favorites. Love the way he plays the game. I love his tenacity. I love his athleticism. I got him at number 6. At number 7, again, Lane Johnson, he's going to Canton. He's probably not a first ballot. He'll probably go in on the second ballot. But he puts another Super Bowl there, he will be first ballot. Right tackles tend to be, as I told with Eric Allen yesterday, I put these lists together for about 20 of the 50 voters on who I think should be Hall of Fame conversation. Not who's picked. There's like me and 14 other guys that put these lists together on who should be a Hall of Famer or who should be considered for the Hall of Fame. And that's when I started I didn't know Eric Allen hadn't made it. And I told him that, and he knew it. He goes, I told you, man, a couple of years ago when I saw you at Rancho Bernardo High School, he goes, I told you, because he knows I'm on that panel. Jason Cole tells you all the time I'm on that panel. He goes, hey, how come you never debate me? And I'm like, I thought you were in. He goes, I'm not in. Like, you're not in the Hall of Fame. That's when it really started. Even before I started talking Eagle stuff, I was like, holy shit, how's Eric Allen not in? And so that's when we were really happy for him. And we text him And we knew he was going into the Hall of Fame because, they told him a week ahead of time. And we also knew that Eric was going in. Don't you remember we had Jason on? He said, don't say anything. So I really couldn't. By the way, Jason's coming on later on today. We really couldn't say anything. But kudos to him. Lane's got 2 Super Bowl championships. And let me see, 2 Super Bowl championships, 17, 24, and 3 NFC titles. That's pretty freaking impressive. Maybe he is first ballot. Number 8, I got Milton Williams. I thought Milton was one of the most consistent players on the football team all year. And by the way, Milton Williams and Josh Sweat are going to have a massive market for them. There's going to be more demand for them than Zach Bond. You understand that, right? Hit the like button, guys. All supers go to the top. Matt, appreciate you. Thank you. All the people that went down and saw all the folks and all the JAKIB folks down there today. Glad that you guys are jumping aboard with the program. I really appreciate it. You guys were great, man. It was a great display down there. The Kraussies did a nice job. Excellent stuff. Appreciate it. Please hit the like button. Give me a total on where we are in the likes. Supers go to the top. I got Milton Williams at number 8. He's going to have so many people after him. I thought he played so well. I mean, just consistent football. There's going to be about 20 teams after him. And he'll command between $17 and $20 million. You got to build the trenches. Him and Josh Sweat are going to have enormous amount of volume out there. Okay? He's my 8th best Eagle. Number 9, I got Dickerson. Continues to improve. By the way, when you're ranking a Super Bowl champion team, the majority of these players that are off the number 1, number 2, number 3, if they were on any team somewhere else, they'd be 1 or 2. It just so happens you're on a championship football team. So don't be disappointed if you see Dickerson down at 9 or Milton Williams at 8. Milton Williams on another team is probably second best player on the team. That's what happens when you're in a championship football team. There's a pecking order. So again, okay. Hogan got some new material. Who's Hogan? Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Pat, are you aiming that at me? Here. Number 10, Cam Jurgens. What a great year. He did a great job this year replacing Jason Kelce. Just a super job. I mean, an absolutely sensational season. I picked him to go to the Pro Bowl this year. And he's probably the 3rd, 4th best center in the league now. Agreed. But there was the first year with the team. They got him in the supplemental, and he didn't know the system. Oh, yes, me. Had no idea. It was the worst thing that you could ever imagine here. Let's see. Anybody, you could see compromising money for wins. Dude, that's what you're going to see out there. Again, people are going to do that because there's stupid teams out there. And for the record, here, like I said, today's not really a day to sit around barking about free agency here, but just to make a point here. Look at this shit. Here are the stupid teams. New England, Raiders, the Chargers, and Chicago and Arizona. It's the same cast of idiots. That's why they consistently overpay them dudes. Guys, I am really thrilled to death that at the beginning of the program, when the parade was still going on, that we had little viewers. You know why? You should be down at this parade. It's a Super Bowl Friday. And I got to tell you, man, watching Xander and the Krausses put that thing on today, I'm watching this thing, and I'm watching these guys put this thing on, and you know what I'm saying? look at these guys overcoming bullshit. To make this happen, I got to say this. They didn't do this for them. They went down there and did this for you guys. Get this. Xander's so fucking behind that I'm sitting here watching this. I don't get a notification. Xander goes like this. Hey, Sills, I'll let you know right away. This guy's got 5,000 fucking things going on at once. And so I said, let me fucking prepare. You know, it's Friday, so it was all good. And so I'm sitting here going like this. It's 5:10. I go, let me just take a shower and shit like that. And all of a sudden, I see Special K. And I'm going like this. I see Special K. Hey, the Krauss kids, I don't know. Isabel, I got to get you on the program. I made your brother a star. I'll make you one too. Okay? I'm getting you on. And then Special K goes, hey, Dan, I love the show. I got to tell you. I goes, I know. I hear your mom does. Great job today, man. So without further ado, this guy was in the middle of it. Hey, and I got to say this to Xander before I bring him up. Slay and AJ taking shots at me on the podium today. They were taking shots at me. They said I'm a diva. I only care about numbers. Fuck you, I'm a champion. And I got Darius Slay doing this. We don't have lockdown corners. Fuck that. We got 2 of them. And I'm like, oh, there's only one guy in one show in the city that barks that shit. And it's right here. Without further ado, great job by these guys today. Hey, Miss Big Z and Big Joe Krauss, they get a flatbed. This guy goes down there. By the way, that was kudos, man. That guy does a lot of great work, according to the Krausses, for our military. And all of you know, I'm a military guy, man. And I thought that was dope as well. So it all worked in. Without further ado, here he is. Down there, 2 o'clock in the morning, getting off his ass, bringing you content. Here he is. Without further ado, my boy, Big Z, Xander Krauss.
Holy shit, Sileo. What a freaking day, my dude. What a day, man. My first thought, as I just literally seconds ago returned home, I raced my computer in. I set it up so I could get here for the National Football Show. What an amazing city we have. I tell you what, man, I love this city. I love the people in this city. Sills, I think if you came here and you experienced what I experienced today with talking to some of the great people who listen to your show, I think you'd become an Eagle fan. That's how much I think they would. That's how much I think you would like this city and the people.
Saw it.
Dude, you know how many people I saw come up to me today. I had so many people mention you to me today. I had so much love in the air. Not, and I don't say that cornily. I mean, like real people coming up saying, I love your guys' shows. I love everything you guys do. And it was so dope, man. And then just the scene, the parade, the energy in the air. It was unbelievable, man. I really enjoyed that today. And that's Philadelphia.
Tell you what I saw?
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys, I saw genuine. If the whole thing was as genuine, hey, from the volume going out, you racing around going, look at down here.
Yeah.
Here's John here. Look, here's one of the great people from JAKIB Nation. Hang on. Over here.
Oh, man.
Your sister, who, by the way, I'm getting on the program.
She's a star. She's a star.
And Special K starting the program. I got a new name for her, too. Special K.
Special K, that's what you like?
Yeah, I'm calling her Special. Dude,
I love it.
You did such a great job today, you and your family getting that whole thing together, delivering content for all of our folks down there. I couldn't have been more proud of our station and what we do for a living here. I saw everything genuine, and I saw the fans there having a great time.
Yeah, man, great.
What a really great environment that looked like, in a genuine environment.
It was. That's a great way to put it. It was an unbelievable environment. It was, dude. It's just so cool to be. I love doing the show here and everything, but being out amongst the people is a different feeling. It's a different everything. And you know, obviously on a day like today, when the whole city's in celebratory mode, and you know, Flexing and Steppin was with me the whole day, basically. My man Akbar, I must have talked to Akbar for 30 minutes after I wrapped up today. I got to kick it with him for a little bit. Cali baby, if you're listening, brother, what an honor and a privilege it was to meet you. Just so many guys. Sills. Arthur Humler, who's a big guy in your chat here, said great words to me about you, about your show, about this network. It was amazing, man. It was amazing. And Mike Berghorst was another guy out there. Joe Whipp was there. Joe Whipp the whole day. Joe Whipp helped us set up in the morning. I mean, dude.
I love that Tommy McDonald jersey he had on,
yeah,
too.
Dude, we got great people, man.
Shit.
We got Sills. We don't just have listeners, brother. We got great people.
Yes.
We got great fucking people. And that's what I love. All right.
That's what I told you, Xander, from day one when I started doing this. I'd be a fraud if I told you I was an Eagle fan, but what I did fall in love with immediately right away was the people that we talked to and the people that are in that city. That's why it's so – you know why my transition into your city was easy? Because I am that kind of dude. I'm exactly that kind of fucking guy who goes in there and says that and got opinions. And I saw you guys sitting up there on the stage. What I love too, Xander, as soon as you saw people, you recognized people that were there, that were part of our network, that wanted to be part of the network. And people started barking, Sills. I think they just said there's a chant, fuck you, Sileo, that was going on.
No, none of that. I'll tell you what, though. My sister, who you mentioned, Isabel, she's going to be a star. The funniest part about all us Krausses is, I meet all these people, and they're all like, you guys are all so similar. You, your sister, your dad. And the funniest thing is my dad's been in media for 35, 40 years. Never once in my life, in my sister's life, in my brother's life, never once has he tried to make us go into media. Never once. I mean, my dad was the type of dad that anything we wanted to do, he wanted to support. And all of the journeys we've all been on in life. But Isabel gets on that mic, man. She didn't have a nerve about her. She's rocking it. It's amazing, man. So it was really fun, man. I'm happy you enjoyed it. I'm happy you got to
I enjoyed more the fam. You know what? It made me feel like, man, we're a special boutique in the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And it's family run. And I don't know about you, man. I've done my whole life in corporate radio and corporate broadcasting, and it just didn't have the feel of what you guys were doing. And like you said, WIP spends $10 million, and they didn't do the kind of shit that you were doing out there. It was a one-man show. Everyone's going, hey, Sills, you going on? I go, hey, these guys are I don't know. I go, if he gets back in time, they find it. And I kept going like this. I kept going, hey, these guys, man. And Xander, I'm watching you like this, and I'm going like, is this guy going to pull this bullshit off today? Is he going to get all of this done, him and his old man? And you guys surely did. What a He-Man.
I got so much work in front of me, brother. When I get off this show, I'm be working till 2 a.m. tonight. But man, it was fun, brother. Dude, that's the type of day, Sills, that it takes everything out of you in a way.
Oh, yeah.
But it juices you up at the same time, brother. Like, I just, dude, like, I love all of our people, and I say that all the time. But meeting them, talking to them, hanging out with them, having conversations with them. I mean, Big Flex. I think Flex is in the chat right now.
Yes.
What a fucking beast. What a beast of a guy. What a legend. Joe Whipp. Joe is amazing, man. Joe hanging out with us all day this morning, helping me out, helping me try and get Starlink set up. Starlink doesn't work. I go over to 6ABC. I'm like, yo, 6, I need some internet. I jacked up some 6ABC internet. So for those who are watching, and I got kicked off the air at the end, all right, the end was a shit show because I'm still trying to do the parade.
I'm watching you.
And 6ABC, I forgot I was on their internet. So they immediately, this parade goes by us, and they just pull out their internet, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I had to get up my hotspot just to end the show. But, yeah, the end of the show was a little bit of a shit show. We didn't have a chance to sign off, but the whole thing was amazing, brother. The energy out there in the air was so good. There's so much more love in the world than there is hate. And I saw on the ride home, I guess there was a shooting down there today, which is awful news. But that's going to be the whole story in national when you're not inside this city. And for those who are inside this city, for those who are at that parade today, you know that nothing about those stories tells the truth about what happened on the ground and what the city is like and what the people are like. And dude, it's so cool. I'm telling you right now, that's the kind of thing that juices me up, bro. I really loved it today. I loved it so much that I had to run home and get on this show today and talk to the great Big Sil. So
I got to tell you, man, you reminded me of Tony Stark when he had to go into the TV thing to get more juice. And here's Tony Stark, Xander, Krauss going, hey, listen, Big Z needs ABC6. ABC needs Big Z. And I was like, I'm watching you guys do all this here. And at the end, it was going in and out, but I think that actually brought a little bit to it in what you guys were trying to accomplish down there. And I think you guys completely pulled it off.
Yeah,
I'm watching it the whole time, Guy. I mean,
we pulled it off. We pulled it off.
You did pull it off.
Yeah, I felt like we did. At least for the most part. And here's the best part.
Dude, so the view was the best part.
The view is incredible. So here is for those who enjoyed Isabel, my beautiful sister, all right, who was on the show today. Isabel, see, this is the kind of machine that we are in the Krauss family. I'm up on the live stream, right? And Isabel says, yo, Z, give me the mic, the other mic that we have that plugs into the phone. And she's running around interviewing street interviews, all of the great people of Philadelphia. So I have some of the funniest, best street interviews, and I'll just show you one right now. All right. It is so funny. It is so funny. I'm going to post all of these up as shorts on the channel, but let me show you guys this, because this is just an all-time classic comment from a Philadelphia guy at the parade today. And let me share this with you guys.
Oh, God,
no, that's not going to be. Let me get the audio. I
got a shitload of these from our fans too that were there, man. I mean, Xander, I'm going to send them to you, okay? Because I got a shitload.
I'll take them. You send them to me.
I got like 20 shows.
Dude,
it's fucking crazy great, man. It was just crazy great today. I really enjoyed watching it, man. I mean, seriously, I got up early to watch it too, Xander. The whole thing, I'm going like,
well, I did Birds 365, right?
I know
it didn't work at all. It didn't work at all, and I'm like, fuck, man, the damn Starlink isn't working on me. So I bailed on that, and that's when I went over to 6 ABC, and they were, I worked to deal with that. By the way, did anybody watch cable news? 6 ABC after we were done, they just started interviewing me. It was the weirdest thing ever. They just started interviewing me, and I gave them, I think, a pretty good answer. I have no idea, but I think I saw somebody in the chat said they just saw me on Channel 6. So maybe I'm on Channel 6 today. I'm not really sure, but they interviewed me right after we wrapped up. Let me get this video. I'm trying to share it with the audio. Give me 1 second. All right, I'll pull it up for you.
Fucking what a great! I mean, dude, the view of it coming down the street where they put you at. Who picked that? Your old man?
Dude, listen. You don't get to pick that. You don't get to pick that. All right. You have to be connected. All right. And we have connect. No, that's seriously, because I want to thank those people. I mean, you saw Jerry, obviously, who set us up with the flatbed truck. We have relationships with people on the inside of City Hall who made that happen. Dude, they don't allow stuff like that at City Hall on parade days, dude. That you can't move a flatbed truck in there. Oh, right. and we ask, and they say, whatever you guys need, you can do. So it was amazing. It was amazing. But the audio is not working, but I'm going to just play it through my phone. Check out this video right here.
Once you give up your firstborn child for a three-peat. Oh no, I love my kids to death. I love my kids to death. And so what would you be willing to give up? My bitch, my body. What's your bitch gonna see this? I don't give a fuck. Oh boy,
Trouble in paradise. Now, I thought that was the funniest thing. He said his girl's standing right next to me. He goes, my bitch, I give her up for a three-peat. Oh man, there's so funny, man. There's so much funny ass stuff happened today.
That is fucking unbelievably funny. Holy shit! I give my bitch up for a three-peat. It
was great. Ray says I had my glasses on. Yeah, man, I had my glasses. I couldn't see. I forgot them. So this morning I got down there 4:45 in the morning. We got down there. I was up at 3:30 this morning, getting ready and everything. We got down there early, and I forgot my glasses. So everything I'm doing, I'm trying to see. And when my sister and my girlfriend came down, they had my glasses for me. So I put them on. I could finally see everybody coming up to us, but it was great, man. It was great.
Hey, how about Nolan Smith and them going in the crowd and doing all that shit? How cool is
right in
that?
front of me, man. Nolan Smith, that was really dope, man. I honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, but I haven't seen a lot of the other stuff that happened, obviously, because I was so busy doing what we were doing. So I'm going to consume some of the parade content that happened later on in the day. I know I saw Quinyon Mitchell was all banged up. I saw Howie Roseman got hit in the face with a beer or something.
Yep.
Pretty hilarious. But yeah, great day, man. I really think you would have had a lot of fun, Sills, if you were there. I know you wouldn't have come or whatever, but it was great, man. I just think you would have genuinely enjoyed it because, you know, there was a lot of people coming up so happy to see us. And, you know, I had 3 dudes who were just like, dude, I love you and Sileo. You guys are the absolute best. So I got that a lot today. And, you know, it was a great time.
Why don't you tell people in here what JAKIB means?
Yeah, so I saw somebody asking that.
Yeah.
So JAKIB is, if you watched our show earlier today, you saw the A and you saw the I. Sileo saw the K before the show started, and the J and the B is the other 2 siblings. So JAKIB is an acronym for the 5 first initials of my dad's 5 kids. All right, so me and all my siblings. So Joseph, Alexander, Kateri, Isabel, and Brittany. And that's us 5. That's the 5 Krauss kids. And that's where it started in 2010. That's where it came from. People ask, would you ever change the name? It doesn't mean anything. Eagles. We don't care. We would never change the name. It has immense meaning to our family and obviously to my father. So that's what it is. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, and today, you know, what was on display for me? It's a family business, man.
Absolutely.
And that's the passion. And folks, this is not just some sort of like internet YouTube thing. This is a family passion that these guys have.
Absolutely.
And it was, hey, watching these operate today, try to give you guys content today. It had nothing to do with them. It had everything to do with making sure you guys got some of the greatest views on what you're going to see and what you saw. They wanted to give you a taste of it. I'm watching it, man. I was smiling the whole time.
Yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm happy you got a chance,
time, dude.
Yeah, I'm happy you guys you had a chance to consume the coverage. But I tell you what, man, this city's high, man. This city's high on this football team, man. This city is jacked up. You know, I always say the city is a different city when this team wins, man. The crime rate goes down. I'm telling you, man, it's a different city.
How long does a city like Philadelphia celebrate this, or do you start to do this because shit Jalen Hurts is talking about 2 days ago? Hell, I'm behind.
Yeah.
I gotta get my shit together here. Holy shit, I've got it. I mean, how long does this last before you start to do this? Hey, man, I want more. I want to go eat. I want to go out there and I want to make this happen. What do you think? Month? 2? Week?
I'll tell you what. I think maybe a little longer than that in terms of the fan base. All right. I think all summer in terms of the shit that I'm going to be giving you, because the Philadelphia Eagles are world fucking champions. They're world champions. They're Super Bowl champions. So that is not ending in 10 days, my friend. You might want it to end in 10 days. You might want to go back to bullying Big Z and saying why we're going to lose. I'm not letting it happen. So for that response, I will say all summer. For the football team, I think they'll be back to work. I think they're all going to take a well-deserved long-ass vacation, go somewhere with their lady or whatever they're going to do, and enjoy it. But I think they're going to get back to work, man. I think that's part of what makes this team so special and so great. And I think those are some of the intangible things that, you know, you might not be able to see it in town and you might not be able to see it but this team is driven. This team is built different. You know, Sills, you'll understand this. You'll understand this because you were a champion and you were a part of a championship organization in the Miami Hurricanes. And you guys didn't forget, you didn't accept a loss. We have a lot of guys in this city right now on this football team that have that mentality.
Yeah.
And it's a credit to the college coaches and the college programs that they played at. But you have a lot of guys right now on this football team that are young, that have bright futures, that have that mentality. And I think that's going to go a long way in bringing this city, more titles. I was out there today. That's not the last time we'll be doing that. So if you missed today, if you were some reason we're not in the city of brotherly love today, fear not. we will have another chance at this. I feel it in my bones.
Hey, if you want to go to the fucking draft, I'll go there.
Well, we're going to send somebody to the draft.
Well, then I'll go. Going to Lambeau? You should come with me.
Lambeau's sick, bro.
Bro,
Lambeau's sick.
You have to fucking go to Lambeau.
I know. I'll go to Lambeau eventually.
It's the cathedral of it is. That's a good question here, Devin. How long did it last for you, Big Cells?
That's a great question.
I think with those guys, especially the Georgia kids, those guys they live that. It's like I said it earlier. You know what happened in Pittsburgh, Xander? Now the standard in Pittsburgh is not to have a losing season. You know what the standard in Philly is? To win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
There's just a different standard now. Yeah. And when you live that standard your whole career, it's not how it lasts forever, because you carry yourself like a champion every day. Every time you do something, you carry yourself as a champion, whether you're practicing, whether you're in the off season. Everything you do is to be a champion. So the players, it stays with them forever until you don't have a good football team. Then it starts to deteriorate. But that's not where this football team is. I want to ask you this on 2017 and 2024. The parade seemingly lasted longer in 17 than it did this year. It looked like that thing was longer. Was that just because it was the first since 1960? Or what was different, do you think, this time around compared to 24?
I don't know. It's tough.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was longer.
Maybe it might have been. I think there was an element to maybe that was your first one there, and maybe they kind of made more out of that than this year. But I'll tell you what, it felt like there was more people in the city today. I wasn't at the parade in 2017 because I was at Alabama, so I can't speak firsthand. But and by the way, I just got sent a video. I just got sent a video of me on 6ABC. So there's your boy Big Z on 6ABC.
Oh, you got to post that. You got to post that.
I'll post it up. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. I think this city is jacked up. Let me ask you a question. All right. Before the Super Bowl, you mentioned a comment, and I think you were right in the comment when you mentioned it. We're a winning organization. The Chiefs are a championship organization. You think we've flipped that narrative? Have we become a championship organization now? 2 in the last 7 years, 3 appearances. I think we're getting there. I think we're turning the page.
No. That game on Sunday changed everything because it validated it. Somebody asked me a question about Jalen. I forget who it was. Somebody on the NFL Network asked me this, and I said this: you can never mention the conversation ever again without bringing Hurts as a winner and a champion into the conversation, no matter what. I mean, Jalen has more than Lamar, Josh Allen. I mean, they may have the numbers. He has the wins. You're in a team sport. You're in the team sport, dude. Fuck, man. Xander, I've told you for 5 years since I've been with you. I'm a resume guy. Whatever my opinion is, resumes supersede opinions. This is who he is now.
Yep, I agree, bro. I agree, man.
Yes.
I'm quickly, I agree, brother. I really do, man. And I did that show with my dad the other night. Not today, not the one today, but we did the stand-up show the other night, and he kind of gave me this interesting perspective on, my growth as a human and like how it aligns with Jalen Hurts. And it is interesting to think about because I was a freshman when he was a freshman at Alabama. So I was a big fan of him, obviously, at Alabama. When he got drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles, I bought the number 2 Hurts jersey. So that's the only Eagles jersey. The only current Eagle jersey I have right now is a number 2 Jalen Hurts jersey. So I kind of just went through the whole last 8 years of our life. And obviously they're very different life paths, but I've been able to kind of be a fan of his, from the start of the spotlight. Uh-oh. Sorry about that.
Holy cow. Look at this guy here. Dropped a C-note. Look at it, Xander. He dropped a C-note. T-Will.
Holy shit.
T-Will.
Let's go. T-Will. T-Will. Yeah, one of our great viewers. I hope you reach out to me. There was one viewer I met today, and he didn't give me his name or anything. He just came over. I think he was drunk. I probably was. And he was so fired up this team. He's like, bro, I love you, man. I love you and Sills. And then he started shit talking to you. He's like, I love Sills, but he was wrong. He was wrong. He was wrong. And I was cracking up, man. I didn't even get his name. I'm like, what's your name? He's like, yeah, don't worry, man. I love you. And then he just kept walking. It was hilarious. But I hope he puts in the chat who the heck it was. But hilarious. T. Will, man. That is dope, brother. T. Will, thank you, man.
Hey,
look at that. He says, Xander, I freaking love you, bro. T. Will, I
T.
love you
Will
more
on
than
this
you know.
Championship Friday. Thank you very much, man.
T. Will, I love you more than you know, brother. I love all my people. I really do, man. I do it for the people.
Yeah.
Eagles Nation, I love you all. Sills, thank you for the motivation, bro. Fly, Eagles, fly. We are the champions, my friend. Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir,
right.
T. Will. That's a really cool chat, brother.
I'm getting people talking shit on me in the crowd. I had the players. Hey, I don't just like numbers, and I'm not a diva.
Yeah.
I'm a champion. Fuck you. And I'm going,
everyone,
like Sileo, he's talking to you. I'm going,
oh, man.
I got it, man. I got it. Slay
Great
goes,
day there, man.
Slay goes, I am a lockdown corner. All right, you're a lockdown.
I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit on cloud nine from today, man. I'm a little bit on cloud nine. It's one of the most fun broadcasts I've ever had. It was one of the most fun atmospheres I've ever been a part of in terms of my working professional career. And then just having the opportunity to not just be there with them, but to hang out with some of our great viewers. We brought some of them on the show. Obviously, you guys saw. Cool, man. It was really cool, man. And this city.
Isn't it crazy great? By the way, we have supers. We'll read them also.
Yeah, we'll get to them all. T. Will dropped the he just pushed to the top.
Absolutely. Do me a favor, guys. Supers will be. Xander, how cool is it that, when I've been in this thing now 38 years here. And I got to tell you, when you get a chance to get out and see the people you talk to and you see the passion that they have for it, you understand what they're kind of talking about a little bit. And you put a face to it. This is the shit that this is what Angelo, and why I always believe that I'm kind of in that same room with him, because, hey, knowing the people that support your show, Angelo wrote a book on that. That's what you're doing now too. You're writing the JAKIB Sports book right now.
It's a great take, man. We really are. Yeah, and we're enjoying it. And we got great people here. We got you, which we how much we think of you, how much we love you. We consider you. We almost made JAKIB JAKIB D to add in a Big Sills to it. But no, we love Big Sills, man. We got Johnny Mac in the mornings, and we got our great people, all of our people who watch us, support us, like our shows, share our shows, watch our shows.
Xander, that's an emotional day for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not an overly emotional dude, but it's emotional. Just in terms of, because it's also a wrap on this first year that we've had, and in terms of me with content and, everything that we did and how much you've helped me grow as an on-air personality, and seeing it all kind of come to a close, or at least this season come to a close today, being out there with the people. It was a great, I wouldn't have
start.
I wouldn't finish it any other way.
It's just a start for you. See, Xander,
absolutely.
A guy like you and a guy like your dad, especially, you have no finish line like I don't. Yeah. When I run into people like that, I love that, because you know why? When you have a finish line, that means you looked up and it's over. Yeah, I've never had a finish line. You don't have a finish line.
Absolutely not.
By the way, it's been an absolutely insane year when people were throwing dirt on us. And to see you guys on that stage in front of City Hall, Xander, that's where I got my – my fuck you was? Can I tell you what my fuck you was?
I'd love to hear it, Sills.
You and your pop, Isabel, on the stage there in front of City Hall going like this. And you know what I'm screaming? Fuck everyone. Yeah. Fuck you. I'm screaming in my own house that going, look at JAKIB, fuck you. You tried to bury. Oh, I was so proud of you.
They did, man. That's what happened, man. We tried to listen, I don't even, my sights are set ahead, but you're not, listen, that's a part of that, right. That's a part of that journey. And
that's right.
I feel the same way. You raise up from the ashes like a blaze of glory. You learn from it, you grow from it, you become a better human, a better man, a more polished person, more polished man, a more polished business owner. You learn from your mistakes and you keep growing. That's part of life, that's a part of life. And I think there's beauty in that. There's beauty in that growth and that evolution and that learning process. And to see it come together today was really great. By the way, I mean, that thing comes together, that thing comes together in 12 hours. I mean, this wasn't something, hey, I got city approval 2 weeks ago. We're down at City Hall yesterday getting the approval. We called Jerry last night. He gets the truck ready to go. He comes down and, by the way, Jerry, I'd like to give another shout out to him, man, and the Cooney brothers. Jerry, unbelievable work by him. This guy was working like a dog for us all day long. He does setup for us. He hung my JAKIB banner up. He got my Starlink mounted when I needed it to. He adjusted on the fly when we needed to do that. And so you don't understand, man. Like, let me pull up this picture. I'll show you what this picture was.
Let me show you a picture. Someone just sent this going, this is like Big Dome sending a picture here. He's down in the crowd. I don't know where he was. He must have been around you. He's in there going like this. I've got thousands of these pictures and videos that people sent me today. I was so proud of people. You know what it made me think? It made me think of how many people actually watched the fucking show today. Because I couldn't believe it. I mean, dude, I must have had 200 videos sent to me of being in the crowd today.
Sills, you might piss some people off, brother, but people, one thing about you is people resonate with you. People know that you're a real ass dude, and you don't give them anything that you don't believe, or they know that your takes don't come from that type of place. And I knew it from the people that I talked to all day today. I had, like I told you, I had the one dude who's like, yeah, Sileo's eating crow, but he said it with so much love. Like, it was like, yes, I love his show, but he's eating fucking crow right now. And I'm like, you're right. Sileo was wrong. And I said, I'm done listening to the old heads. I'm done listening to Sileo. I'm done listening to Johnny Mack. And we are listening to the young guns nowadays, baby. Let's go.
Holy shit, man. What a big week this has been here, Xander. Xander, when you were seeing the players come down, and I could tell in your voice, you started getting, you know what, too? Can I tell you what I loved the most about the coverage? You sounded like a kid and a fan when you saw the guys get off the thing and go around, pick the kid up, put him on his shoulder, Nolan Smith. Do you know how great that sounds and how genuine that sounds? You were like, holy shit, it's Nolan Smith. You're natural for it, bro, because you know why? You're not a phony shit.
I don't know how to be a phony, bro. I think
neither do I.
And I don't say I don't. You guys would not watch our program if I was.
No way.
I don't know how to be a phony. Anybody who met me today, I'm the same guy off air as I am on there. I love
the key to it.
I mean, I'm not a phony. I might say some shit you guys don't like, but I'll always be real with you. I always try and keep it real. But
I'm the worst liar on the planet. I can't lie because that's just shit I can't do, man.
My honesty gets me in trouble,
Really? Yeah. Me too, dude. Me too there. So, okay, how long are you going to go? How long are you, what's your Monday going to be?
My Monday in terms of what?
How are you going to feel about presenting the Eagles? Are you turning the page? Are you still hanging out with this?
Well,
do you still feel it? Or now do you walk like a champion starting on Monday?
Well, here's what you do. Ready? You turn the page, but when you turn that page, it's a different feeling. It's a different turn of that page. That page doesn't turn like it did last year. That page doesn't turn like it did in years past. You lick your finger a little bit. You pull the page up. You give it a nice little question. You nice little pull on the page. Make it flex out a little bit, and then you flip that page over, man, and you're like, we're turning the page, but we're fucking Super Bowl champions, baby. And you know that you have that going into this thing. So you turn the page, you do. But I don't think this city deserves to move on from it that quick. I think the players will, as I think I said that on the show today. I think the players will, but I think this city deserves this, man. I was born and raised right around here, man. I was born and raised right around here, right north of the city.
How far are you from down where you were?
32 minutes, 8 miles, 9 miles.
It was probably the crowd. It was probably the traffic and shit and all that.
Yeah.
So
driving
only like 30 minutes from where you were.
Yeah, and anybody who knows Philly knows that 9 miles can be anywhere from 25 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. So, no, but I'm 9 miles. I'm like 2 miles. I'm a mile and a half north of Broad Street. So, right at the end of it, right in Abington, Jenkintown. So, it's where I grew up. It's where I was born and raised. And this is a different city. And I know I say that a lot, and I get it that people are probably like, all right, so you told me that before, but it really, I don't know how to emphasize it enough so that I just want you to understand it and see it like I see it, because this city is different. I'm telling you, man, the crime rate goes down. The love in the air, the people, it's a different, dude. I was in that city today, and even when we got off the air, I stopped, I looked around for a second, and I truly said to myself for the first time in a while, like, holy shit, man, I love where I grew up. I love this city. I love these people. I love this fan base. I love the buildings around me right now. I loved everything about it today. I really did. I had so much fun. I see one of my guys in here I met down there at the show today. Where is he? Where's my guy, Bombay Trippy? Bombay, I know you there. There he is. Bombay, great meeting you, brother. You got to send me that picture of us, all right, man? I don't think I have it. I think you have it. Send me that picture of us. But, I really do, man. It was great. It was really awesome. And you're right. I'm a little bit on cloud nine still. I'm a little bit on cloud nine. So I might be all over the place right now, but I'm definitely I'm definitely on cloud nine after that broadcast. I thought it was a lot of fun to do it. By the way, it's just a cool moment too. Like you said with the family thing. I mean, I'm on a show with my dad and my sister in the middle of Philadelphia, celebrating a Super Bowl with the greatest viewers and fans in the world listening, the greatest fan base in the world surrounding us, and the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles going by us. Like, it didn't, thinking about that, it doesn't get better. People say, what do you want in life? Some people want money. Some people want cars. Some people want big houses. Some people want a hot wife. I don't care. Whatever it is you want, I'm good. I'm sad. I care about that. That is all I need in life. Moments like that, the process, what we're building, the community that we have, that's all I need. Everything else is icing on the cake for me, brother.
When that team came by you, did it fire you up and motivate you when they came by you saw that there were, like, I called it like the Canyon of Heroes, the way they were going through. You see that fan bases on each side of that Broad Street, the way they were coming down it, and you saw both. How deep do you think they were? They looked like there were about 25,000 people in the area you were at.
Yeah, that's what my dad speculated, and it might have been more than that, because I have some documentation from the day, and like as it kept getting later, like I was right off Broad here, so we had Broad right coming at us where they turned off, and they were turning this way, so there was a fenced off area, and it started with 10 rows up to the fence. Then it was 30 rows up to the fence. Then it was 50. And then the entire street, all the way pushed back to the Wanamaker building, which is all the way down the street, was stuffed with people. I had people reaching out to me that were there, and they're like, bro, I see you. I cannot get to you. I have a bunch of DMs. I'll answer everybody's DMs once I get off the air, once I stop working eventually. But I got so many DMs of people like, I saw you, but I couldn't get to you. And I wish I met him. I wish I saw everybody, but I do understand it's tough to navigate, because cops have to kind of keep things on the rails and stuff. There's my guy Akbar. Akbar, what a great day, man!
I saw him,
dude.
I saw him down there.
After we were done, though, let me tell you the kind of guy Akbar is. After we were done, we're wrapping up on everything, trying to get everything out, folded up. Well, we had to walk it all the way to the car, all the equipment, because we obviously couldn't drive up there, like we did in the morning. So Akbar's like, what do you need? What do you need? Picks up the TV, carries the TV all the way to the thing, makes multiple trips with me to and from my car. I mean, we sat there and chopped it up for what, 30 minutes, an hour, Akbar today? What a legendary dude, man. We don't have listeners. We have family. We have a great family here on JAKIB, and the people are what make it great. And meeting them is literally the most fun I have. All I want to do is more of that, because I want to meet you all. Every last Matt, Keith, Flexen and Akbar, I met you today. Primo, I'm awake. Everybody. I want to meet them all, because they're such great. Abe, they're such great people. They're all such great people. And every time I meet another JAKIB fan, I'm more and more impressed with how great our community is.
Let me say this to the folks that are watching right now. Folks, this is what we strived for at the beginning of the year, was to show you what kind of network this was going to be compared to any other network in Philadelphia and anywhere else. That this was going to be something new that you were going to be able to deal with here, and that the people, Xander and I are the same guy, dude. Do you think I'm any different off the air? I'm no different than I am off. I'm the same dude that I am on the air. And let me tell you something, man. You guys motivated me to get off my fat ass to get to Philly and do something this offseason. And I'm going to. I'm going to make a commitment to do something to you guys. All right?
Really think, Sills. I think.
No, I will. I will. I owe it.
I know you will. And
I owe it. I owe it to these guys. And I owe it to you guys' hard work today, because I saw what you did. You broke your back today to make it happen. And it was motivating. And it's good stuff.
I would do all that again, man. I would do all that again, and I wouldn't even blink. All right, I wouldn't even blink. That's how much fun I had today. The only thing I would change is maybe I would notify the people a little earlier so they could get there, and I could have met more people. Me?
Yeah,
bro. 3:25. My first alarm went off. I cracked that snooze button one time, and 3:38, or what's it? 8 minutes after, so 3:33. I was up, showered, and ready to go by 3:50. Got everything packed up by 4:10, 4:15. In the car we went. We were pulling up to City Hall around 4:45, 4:50. So it was great. It was great.
Fantastic. And he hurried to get back here to talk to you guys and make sure.
Yeah. Which was, by the way, which was chaotic. Let me tell you, you don't just drive out of Philly after a day like that, dude. That is a nightmare getting out of that city.
So like guys, you got to see this. So right before the show, Special K, his sister goes, there she is. And I'm sitting there going, she goes, now look, I go, don't worry, I got this 2 hours. Believe me, this guy will get back in time. She goes, well, you think you can go 2 hours? And I go, 2 hours? Are you kidding me? I'll go 4 hours if I have to. I'll wait for him here. What are you kidding me, man?
I don't know the power of Big Sills.
And I go like this, you just put me on and let's just rock and roll.
Well, I said down there, because I called her before the show, and I said to her, and I was telling Isabel and Emily, my girlfriend and my other sister, Isabel, I'm like, the only thing that can stop Big Sills today is California. That's it. I don't have to worry about it. Once that show gets on the air, California is my only roadblock. Outside of that, I'm good. Outside of that, we'll be good.
Holy shit. Xander, I'm going to let you get off here because you've had such a long day and a powerful day today. Hey, folks, do me a favor. Be checking out for the content that's going to be rolling out that they got from all you folks that went down there and made it all happen. It's a really great job today. Make sure you check out. By the way, I got to make sure that I put that on my Twitter page too. The thing that happened today. Big Joe had a great day as well. Your sister had a great day. Special K, I want to thank you for getting the show going. Xander, let's do these supers before you get the hell out of here. I know you've got a ton of work to do, dude.
Yeah, I'll be working all night, man, but I love it, man. I wouldn't ask for anything else in the world. So I want to thank you all, man, all you guys. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I love all you people. Devontae says, I saw a clip of Saquon pick up the ball boy. I saw that in the stands and bring him out in the parade. Gotta love Barkley, man. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, I did.
That was really cool, man. That was really dope, Devontae.
I had all my TVs on and we're watching all the Philly stuff going on. And we're like, wow, man, look at all this shit, all the players and such. How he gets up there, does his speech. This guy's got a battle wound. He's up there giving a speech. I thought the whole thing was great.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Devontae, thank you for the super, brother. I appreciate it. Des the Hebrew says, Xander, this makes Bama being down bearable. Again, Des. Des, I love Alabama, man. I got that up there. I don't know, Des. Maybe it's because we've won so many and I've been so used to greatness. Something about that Eagles team, man.
I don't know, man. It makes me sound like I hear like a little Georgia love starting to come out of you too a little bit.
Well, what do you want me to do? Them fucking Georgia boys showed up for the city of Philadelphia this year in such a big way that even I'm having to glaze Georgia. I bet you ask Des. Des, you're a Bama guy. It hurts, but we got to give Georgia a little bit of love, don't we, man? Those guys are unreal, man, what they've been doing. Unreal what they've been doing. No Limit says, Sills, you still got a crow plate to eat. QB1 is him. Let's go, No Limit.
Xander and I Xander and I made a promise because this was a big week this week for all the content we did.
Yeah, we had a
Next
great week.
week, I promise we will get some of you on and we will do all of this. You guys made a huge week for our show for two also. We had a massive week this week.
Yeah, we really did. We had a great week this week, no doubt about it, brother. No doubt. I mean, by the way, another hat tip to you, man. We had a big week.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know if
see
you
all
guys
those interviews?
I don't know if the people have tracked this like we do, but Sileo had Didinger on. All right, he had Philly 500 and Mark Holmes on. He had Merrill Reese on. He had Angelo Cataldi on. He had Gary Cobb on. He had all of these people on. All of them got a boatload of views on the network. By the way, those moments are Sileo. Now, there's a lot of things that make you a great broadcaster, but when you interview a guy like that in a moment like that, it's Eric Allen. It's so captivating. I listen to a lot of content, man. I can't turn it off, and I think that's where the greatness of Big Sil shines through extra strong. Jeff Bach says Mahomes is 0-1 against Kenny Pickett. I don't know what that means.
You know what's also awesome, Xander? How about all those people like Howard Eskin and Angelo and Eric Allen? All these people want to come on our network now. I think that's really awesome that we get the voices of Philly now that knows who JAKIB is. And then having hey, did you have a banner down there so people could see the logo too?
I had the JAKIB sign up. We had a big eagle logo. Remember, we did this in the last 12 hours. So I didn't have, I would have done a little bit differently if I had a little bit more time. But we tried to make some calls. But I had the JAKIB, the light behind me. We had a big ass eagle sign right in front of the broadcast. And, people were hollering. People knew what was going on. So a lot of love, though, man. A lot of people coming up to us. Isabel captured a lot of the footage too of me kind of catching up with our great people, which I really appreciate.
We'll get that right, and we'll get that up.
I hope it's more behind this. It's more kind of like
Okay.
I would post it, but it's not as much about that because I'm so in the moment. I'm hanging out. By the way, Callie Baby, one of our other great viewers, he was so cool today, man. Him, his wife, his 2 kids down there. What an awesome guy he was. So if you see Callie Baby in the chat, you tell him I said what's up, man. He's a great guy. But there was so much going on, and I'm so in the moment, Sills. I'm talking to people. I'm loving the scene of my subscribers. So, for somebody to capture it, I think is pretty cool, and I can't wait to look at it.
Hey, I'm going to send you a response from Scott Van Pelt saying that he watched your content today.
Oh, really?
Scott Van Pelt from ESPN.
Hell yeah, I love Scott Van Pelt. He's one of my favorites on ESPN. Yep. I think he's one of the good ones left.
Yeah,
I'm reading yours again because $100 is no small feat, and I appreciate you like a hell, man. That's really dope of you to contribute to this channel like that and help keep us on the air. Thank you so much, T-Will. Your family, brother. T-Will says, Xander, I freaking love you, bro. Eagles Nation, I love you all. Sills, thank you for all the motivation, bro. Fly, Eagles, fly. We are the champions, my friend. T-Will, thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Q-Ball says, Xander, let's link JAKIB Nation Sunday. Go Birds. Q-Ball, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. You say the word and I'm ready. I am ready to meet up with more of our great people and continue to grow this thing and build this thing, man. I'm so committed to it. I'll go till I'm 10 feet under. All right. I promise you that. So,
I love it.
Thank you, man. I think that's all of them. I think we got them.
Fantastic. Hey, Xander, can we do it? Because I wanted to get today.
Yeah, you're good, bro. You're good. Whatever.
I got Jason Cole coming up at the bottom of the hour because I want to get his perspective. It'll be nobody else but Eagle Talk.
No, I don't
care. The hour, folks. So do me a favor, make sure. Again, he also is the guy that helped put Eric Allen in the Hall of Fame last weekend. So I'm going to send this to you here, Xander, and so we'll do that with him at 5:30. Absolutely, Xander. Superior work today.
Thank you, sir.
And you know what? I'm waiting. I'm going like this. I'm going to totally prepare for everything here because I know it's going to happen here. And I'm so happy you guys were a one-man machine and you pulled it off today. Great stuff as always. Hey, by the way, Prince, thank you guys so much for being part of that. Click the join button to become a JAKIB member. Get a chance to win a trip to this year's NFL draft at Lambeau Field.
Oh, yeah.
Only members are eligible. Hey, man, let me tell you something, folks. if Big Joe's really putting that trip together, go to Lambeau, which I know
he will.
He will.
Yeah,
Let me say this to you. It's one of the most iconic things you'll ever be involved with is going to Lambeau. I'll tell you what, it's moving because it's like a cathedral being involved in that and going to Lambeau. I was privileged to play there at Green Bay. So that will be
Akbar. Look at Akbar just sent me. There's a picture of me, Akbar, and my pop down there at the parade today. That's a great photo.
Fantastic.
It's great.
Look at that. That's great.
I got so many photos.
I wish you had a picture section on our website where we can.
I know. I got to see. I got so much off-season work to do. You just, look, there's so much stuff I want to do to improve this business, and I'll get to all of it. Akbar, thank you for sending my man. And Prince, your family, brother. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Prince, Jack Shaw says, yo, great shit, C. So glad you got to share with family. Nothing more important. Thanks for the season, memories, and all love. Jack, love you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. Sills, thank you, man. Thank you. Great season for all of us here at JAKIB Sports. Very proud of the work we did, and also not in the business of reading our own headlines. I'm ready to get back to work and continue to improve this thing and keep bringing great content to you guys, keep improving the content that we bring you here and adding more and more. And it's all fueled by the great people here in this chat. So thank you so much. Sills, I got to run. I appreciate it, brother.
You bet, man. Thank you. Great work today, Xander. Great stuff, man. Absolutely awesome stuff by the Krausses. I was so scared today. That 44-year-old I was seeing scared me, saying I got her. My heart dropped more than Casey did on Sunday. She was joking. Leon, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. You guys are fantastic, man. What an absolute great. Hey, the show, we had 46 people watching in the first 20 minutes. Now all of a sudden we're back up to normal. You guys are great. And we say this to you all the time. Shit talking back and forth. We ping pong it. As you can tell, we're very important to one another. Not just me and the Krausses, but me, the Krausses, and you that watch this program. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button here. I want to say my great friends here at Morgan & Morgan, folks, we thank you guys so much. Again, America's #1 injury law firm. We're so proud to have them part of the program. Thank you, Leon. Again, you were absolutely awesome. Again, folks, I want you to check out our friends at Morgan & Morgan with over $20 billion recovered for clients. Morgan & Morgan's track record is unmatched. A family in Pennsylvania had $650K offered. They ended up getting $26 million in a recovery for their family because of Morgan & Morgan. In Florida, $350K was offered to a family. They ended up getting $12 million back. Life is hard. We know that. This will be the easiest decision that you make. If you're ever injured, do me a favor, check out our friends at Morgan & Morgan. For more info, go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. That's FOR, thepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. And do me a favor, tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES. Eagles.
How about CeeDee Lamb giving Eagle fans love by saying that they got one of the most passionate fan bases? Yes, without a doubt. I love the fact, too, that Zach Bond wore a Bill Berge medallion this year in honor of the passing of one of the great linebackers in Eagle history. There's a guy that understands the history of the franchise and what certain players meant to the franchise. I think that's important, that you know what the history is of the place. I mean, there's no question. By the way, you know, I loved what Xander said too. Players are probably moving on, I don't know, probably by the middle of next week, because you got to start doing that. It's so short because pretty soon you're going to have a bunch of OTAs. You're going to have a pre-draft organized team activity. Then you're going to get into the post, and you're going to start ramping this thing up again, especially past March 12th, because that's the beginning of the new calendar year. You got to start doing this here, man. And unfortunately, you don't really have the off seasons that you used to have in years past. Yo, Seals, what do you think of Howie can get a trade for Slay? I mean, could you get for Goddard in a trade in regards to draft picks? Slay's already talking about it, this being his final year. I don't know how much you could get for that. Guy wants to play one more season and call it. I'm not thinking a lot, just because availability. I still think he's a good player. But again, my problem with Slay is he's old and he's breaking down. And that's what happened this year. He played well. He really had a good year, but he was injured all the time. He was in and out of games. And he's got no guaranteed money. Goddard, in my opinion, I mean, my problem with him is his availability. He is a really good football player. No one has ever debated that on him. He is an absolute great football player when he's healthy. My problem with him, again, comes down to that, too. I just don't think he's available enough, especially in times when you need him, especially when, get this. So here's what Jalen Hurts fights every year. If you're Jalen Hurts, you can't count on your tight end being healthy for a full 17, and you can't count on a offensive coordinator being there for more than 2 years. That's been what's been, how about this? A lot to overcome for the quarterback. Not that he hasn't. But that's the two things, right? Goddard's availability, and Jalen fights a new coordinator every 2 years. So, I mean, you have to overcome it. He does. But it doesn't make his job easier. So, you know, at the end of the day here, you know, this is some of the question marks. And I would put this down. You know, as you move forward from today, which was a great day, Guys, do me a favor. Give me a total where we are in the likes. You guys were awesome on this Championship Friday. I can't thank you enough. We had a monster week, and it was all because of you. And I'm so happy that everybody got a chance to kind of get away from the show and then come back to the show. And we're going to talk with Jason Cole, and we're going to talk again at the end of the day what the significance of them beating the Chiefs, Nick, Jalen, knocking Mahomes down. 309 and counting. Fantastic. Great shot for us to get the 350 likes. That would be absolutely fantastic today. Thank you, guys. I mean, on a Championship Friday. Okay, let's do this here. Howie Roseman. Howie's a free agent at the end of 2025. Does Jeffrey Lurie address it this offseason here after what he's done? Let's first do Howie. Then we'll do Nick. Okay. And he said today he bleeds green. I'm not trying to tell you he's going to move. That's not what I'm doing. Okay. Hey, Joe Whitt, thank you for being back here with us, man. So do you address... Here, let's do this. Who's the highest paid general manager in all of sports? Let's take a look at that. Who is the highest paid GM in American sports today? R.C. Buford makes, here you go. R.C. Buford makes $10 million a year with the San Antonio Spurs. And he's been the general manager of the Spurs since 2002. David Griffin is second, NBA, makes $6.5 million. These are the highest paid general managers. And here's some more to date. Highest paid GMs in all sports. Yeah, it's R.C. Buford. R.C. Buford is the highest paid at $10 million. Wow. Does Howie Roseman deserve to be the highest paid general manager? How many teams like Dallas would love to have a guy like that running their football team? I mean, but then again, Dallas would never hire him. Here's the front office here. Highest paid general managers. This is just NBA. R.C. Buford is at $10 million. This is just NBA I'm using here. David Griffin, Pelicans, 5.8. I think Howie makes something like 3, if I'm not mistaken. Do you make him the highest paid general manager in all of sports? That's a big number, man. R.C. Buford makes that kind of money. Wow. That's a lot of money for a GM. But he's delivered 5 championships. Brett Veach and Andy Reid are the highest paid, according to the highest paid is Brett Veach of the Kansas City Chiefs. He's the highest paid. Sean Payton kind of runs that organization. Would Jeffrey Lurie make him the highest paid? Here's them ranks. Howie, 3 Super Bowl visits in 8 years, 2 wins. And we are starting to turn the tables on developing rookie talent. No more projects, really, and a lot more proven. Okay? Eagles Nest. Howie's success story is all-time epic. How he got his start to now, but he's a genius at times. He's worth being top 5 highest paid, if not highest, if Laurie's feeling generous. Nick Casario, $6 million, says Kyle. Howie makes 2.5 right now. He makes about 2.5. Surely he becomes the highest paid general manager. Surely he becomes the highest paid general manager in football. That's a big number. Would you make him the highest paid? Angelo Cataldi thinks he should be paying. Yeah, by the way, we're going to ask, we'll ask Jason Cole that question, who, by the way, you guys should thank him for putting Eric Allen and help putting Eric Allen in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Okay? I mean, he did a great job. So we're going to get him at the bottom of the hour here. We'll get his takes here in a second. Now let's talk to Nick Sirianni here. And hey, for the record, let me close that up. I think they should make him the highest paid GM. Like M. Reyes said, hey, man, 3 Super Bowls, him running, he's gotten better since he came out of the Chip Kelly broom closet. His drafts are starting to line up. They did a nice job in assistance. Really good. I mean, I'll tell you this. If Howie Roseman got in the open market, I don't think there'd be any question that there'd be a bidding war for him. Now, I agree with John McMullen on one thing. The owner allows this. How many owners act like Jeffrey Lurie? You know, hey, here's the bag of money up front, cut deals. He's the only owner I see doing this. Jeffrey Lurie doesn't mind paying his guy. You know what? You know how he gets, hey, I don't know, Yale, if you're in here. You know how he gets away with paying people top dollar? He pays them the money up front. He entices them with money, not promised money. That's what your owner does. Howie was a business graduate with no connections to football at all. He's a Florida Gator, I think, if I'm not mistaken, mailing letters to GMs in the league to get a job because he believed he could be a GM. Banner gave him a shot after years of letters. And he's come up through the ranks of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think first he was, he came in on the cap issue in 2000. Then he worked his way up into personnel. Then he worked his way through the Joe Banner thing. And he worked himself around it. Then he became general manager twice. He has 2 stints. And he's really done a great job. I mean, look, I know John McMullen will like to tell you that Howie's the best. Howie's the best at negotiating contracts. There's no question, but the owner has a lot to do with that. The guy in Kansas City's got 3 rings. He does a great job there. I think Les Snead and Kevin Demoff at the Rams do a great job. I think Nick Casario's Nick Casario's got 6 rings. So when somebody goes like this to me, Howie's the best. Howie's the best at he's getting better at drafting. He is. But Howie's great with those deals. But Casario has 6 championship rings. Resumes. Remember, resumes matter, especially when you're a team builder. Okay? No, I agree. Eagle Nest, he started from the bottom. And I think they should reward him. There's not another GM in the league that has drafted better than Howie in the past 5 years. Really? You don't think Kansas City has? Last 5 years, they've won 3 Super Bowls. They've been to 5 or 4. I think it's between them. Hey, you're talking Kansas City and Philly. You're talking pretty much the same stuff. I actually think Kansas City's going to go backwards this coming season. I think they got more cap issues than people think. I thought they were further ahead. And I think they got some issues on that team going forward. Okay? He was like, Howie's at the top of the league right now. Well, yeah, he's in there. I think you can look at all. I think you can look at Brett Veach, Howie Roseman, and Nick Caserio. I think the guy in Baltimore does a nice job, but he's not Ozzie Newsome. Howie's got the champion. He's got 2 championship rings now. He's not that far behind Brett Veach, but it's apples and oranges here. And of course, they've got Mahomes in the building there too. Howie got the loudest chants from the crowd. It was very special to me because he tells me Philadelphia fans are the smartest fans in the world, and they know what's really going on. They do. They do. And they become very passionate towards their players and their coaches. That leads me to Nick here. By the way, please hit the like button, guys. I appreciate you guys. Give me a total on the likes. We're going to talk to Jason Cole, Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, here in a minute at the bottom of the hour here. We'll get Jason's take on what he saw Super Bowl Sunday. It's a great time right now, and kudos to what happened here. So here, let's do this. Nick Sirianni now. 322. That's incredible on a championship Friday. Thank you. Incredible that you guys did that for us. Plus the super chats. Great stuff. By the way, T. Will, thank you. Guys, support us here, man. All right. Pretty historic. I couldn't wait to get Jason on here because Jason Cole has, guys, today's parade was awesome. We had full coverage of it. It was great seeing Xander and the whole crew down there today, right there on Broad Street, coming right at us. We had full coverage. The city put us in a great spot. Xander was down there. And I wonder what Jason Cole thought when Super Bowl Sunday ended on Sunday night. I said this before I bring Jason on. It's the best performance on defense I've seen since the Bears took apart the Patriots. And in that Super Bowl, they held the Patriots to 7 yards rushing. I think 136 yards in total offense. They just annihilated them. However, it's pre-salary cap. And on top of that, we're talking Tony Eason. We're not talking Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo. And I just wanted to know what his takeaways. Oh, and by the way, I got a message for Jason Cole. Yesterday we had Eric Allen on, and I told him, he goes, you thank Jason Cole for me, for me getting the knock on the door. He's one of the guys that helped get the knock on the door. So without further ado, our NFL insider, guy I love the most, is Jason Cole. He's now here on the National Football Show. I'm thinking you just got sick of all the Eagle fans bitching about Eric Allen.
Oh, God, the whining is just out of control. I never knew that Philly was full of a bunch of whiners. I thought they were tough guys, not whiners. You know, Eric Allen. So, anyways, no, congratulations to Eric Allen. Well deserved. Tough arguments all the way around. I'm a little miffed that we only got 3 guys in instead of 5. I thought the 5 guys were deserving on there, but the way the math works in the new system, and it's hard to get more than 3. I think that's going to change. That's a guess. I don't think it's a really great look for the Hall of Fame. I don't think it's what they want, but they did want to have some kind of correction for having too many guys get in recent years. So this is, probably an overcorrection, but it's where they want, the direction that they do want it to go.
Let's get into, what was your first reaction when you saw the dismantling of the Chiefs on Sunday night? I mean, I kept doing this. Jason, I kept doing this. Jesus, criminy. This is belt to ass here, man. I mean, they took them apart.
Yeah, but I mean, it played out if Philly was going to win, this is the way they were going to win. And I think we talked about it before the game and said they have to get off to a fast start. If they get off to a fast start and have the score in their favor, it's sort of like, the Cowboys teams under Jimmy Johnson, where you have a fast defense and you let guys get upfield and you're playing for turnovers. that's what Philly's got right now. It's not the exact same thing. They're not complete mirror images, but they're close.
Yeah.
And if you force Kansas City to throw with those offensive tackles, you're just going to have a disaster. I texted Andy Reid after the game. It was the next day. Not right away because he's going to lick his wounds a little bit. But I thought the fact that he got that team to the Super Bowl, and I thought that they had a chance to win that game if it plays out differently. Yeah, I thought if that game plays out close, but they throw the ball early. They get behind. Jalen Hurts plays an incredible game, and then the defense, you turn those guys loose and they play great. And again, if you get into a situation where you can attack Kansas City's offensive line this year, and not many people could, but if you could do that, they're suspect. Their offensive line was terrible this year. And Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes did an incredible job during the regular season of covering for what was a bad offensive line by playing small ball. They didn't drop back a lot and try and throw it deep. They didn't try and open it up and just sling the ball all around. This is the most run-oriented team they've had of the Patrick Mahomes era. So, this is what can happen to them. Now, I expect their biggest priority this offseason is going to be fix the 2 tackles.
Yeah.
Jawan Taylor cheats on every play. He's been getting away with it for 2 years. When they had a better left tackle, they could cover up a little bit more for it and help him a little bit more. But when the left tackle was bad too, and Tooney had to go out there and play, that's just a recipe for disaster. They met that disaster in the biggest stage.
Let's talk about the 2 quarterbacks. And let me first, before I get to Hurts, Patrick, I don't ever want to hear the conversation about GOAT anymore in Super Bowl play because Mahomes, his two Super Bowl loss, Brady and his 3 Super Bowl losses lost by a total of 17 points. And even when Brady seemingly had the second best roster in many of those wins, he always found a way to rally his team into a position to be able to win. I watched Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. It looked like Sam Darnold in one of those games. That Sam at the last, he's been blown out.
But that's not
blown out. And he had players like Edelman and Amendola who were cast off guys who were non-drafted players. And do you know Brady's offense never had a first rounder on it when he was in New England that won the Super Bowl at any of the skilled positions. Gronk was the highest drafted guy in the second round. Brady's a 6. Nobody on that team. He always had the lesser guys going into games, yet he found a way to win. Surely that's a shot at Mahomes there a bit, but he was never in it.
Yeah, he's so bad. He might be the second best quarterback in the history of the game.
Okay, hey, I'm just saying.
All right. So what? They're not the same games. He also played a Giants team that didn't have anything close to the kind of weapons that this Philly team had. This Philly team's a really terrific team and played great football. And again, if they play 7 times, you don't know how it's going to turn out, right? And the other one is the Tampa game. Yeah, they got blown out. Both their offensive tackles were hurt in that game too. They were down and they were hurt and they were damaged in that game. So, these things happen. Do I think that Tom Brady has a better resume than Patrick Mahomes? Yeah. That's still true.
So does Montana.
Okay? Yeah, you could argue that. Yeah, okay, fine. Montana's got a slightly better resume. We're talking we're splitting hairs among the.
We're talking Montana and Brady. Okay, we're not talking. We're not
right.
Flacco.
Right. Let's come on. What are we going to reduce that down to Bob Greasy? I don't know about him against Greasy. Come on. I hear the argument, and I'm not saying it's a bad argument, but I also find it a ridiculous argument because I feel like I'm walking through a museum looking at, Degas, Monet, and,
Picasso.
and Picasso going, yeah, which one do you like the best? Okay. Okay, what are we doing here? I'll take any of them, right? I mean, that's how I feel about it. And so, I mean, on the all-time list, okay, maybe he's number 3. What a shame. What a shame. Yeah, what a loser. What a loser he is. Come on.
Now, let me get to this guy here. So Jalen Hurts has last 4 years since he's been a starter, there's a 700 win percentage.
You mean the guy you didn't think could win a Super Bowl
this
year?
Him.
Yeah. I told you you can win a Super Bowl with this guy.
Listen. He's got not only that, now he's got 2 NFC championship rings, a Super Bowl, and he's 6-3 in the postseason. How do you see him in the hierarchy of the NFL quarterback right now when you look at that? Because, hey, you can tell me this now, Jace. Allen, Lamar, these guys are all gifted, maybe a little more. Eric Allen even said it yesterday. Jalen doesn't do anything great. He does everything exceptionally well, and that's who he is. However, his resume now, at the end of the day, when you go up with Allen, he's 2-2 versus Mahomes, 1-1 in Super Bowls, 1-1 in regular season games. The rivalries between him and Mahomes, not between Allen and these guys. So help me here. How do you see him where he is now in the hierarchy of the NFL?
He's probably, I still think Josh Allen's a better player. I still think Lamar Jackson's a better player. I think Joe Burrow's a better player. I think that Patrick Mahomes is a better player. I would still take, Herbert before.
I got him 5th.
Yeah, 5th, 6th, 7th, depending on your taste. I mean, I think he's a terrific player. And again, I think you can win Super Bowls with him, especially when you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and you got Saquon Barkley. And you got a Kansas City defense that, sold out to make sure that they stopped Saquon because they were saying going into this game, go beat us, Jalen. Show that you can beat us. And he did. So all respect. Hats off to him. He did his job. He did it very well. He played maybe the best overall game of his entire career.
I think so.
Yeah. Do I believe that can happen week in, week out, every single game? No, based on what I've seen. But again, I always go back to, I think you can win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. And now that he's won one, I think you can win more. Now, I think you have to have great players around him. Guess what they do? And, who might be the most, accomplished guy in the entire organization? Howie Roseman.
No doubt.
Right? Like Howie Roseman, you put together that roster. That roster is sick. It's really, really good. That's why they've been to a Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 years. And they're the road to the Super Bowl goes through them, through the NFC. Yeah, that's absolutely 100% true. It goes through the Eagles. And that's the tip of the cap to Howie Roseman, but all those guys. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, I don't want to overreact, but I am saying he's solidly in that number 5 or 6 hole right there. Before I was somewhere between 6 and 10, 6 and 12. But after that, you go, no, I gotta give it to him. Now, if he had to play in the AFC and go through each one of those guys, and have to beat 2 or 3 of those guys, might be a little different story. You don't have to do that right now in the NFC. That's the advantage of being on that side of the bracket. That's okay.
You mentioned Howie Roseman here. I'm going to mention some names to you: Bobby Beathard, Ron Wolf, George Young, guys like that. You remember Beathard helped build that undefeated Dolphin team in the 70s. He was there with the Dolphins. Then, of course, he went with the Hogs. George did a nice job in what he did. Bill Polian is also in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And just to put context on it here, in the last 7 years as general manager, they've won 2 Super Bowls. They've won 3 NFC championships. I mean, he started drafting a lot better since he got the job back again. I mean, he's a 2-time Super Bowl champ, and he's a 2-time NFL, probably win more, executive of the year. Is he one of the best? Is he one of the best general managers in the salary cap era?
I don't think there's any question. Yeah. I mean, I think he learned a lot of the best of Joe Banner combined with a common sense approach of, you know, they have a philosophy of how they want to build, right? They want to be really good on the lines and keep drafting and get as many of those guys as you can. Spend your money on stars, on star players that can impact it, but make sure you keep bringing those offensive linemen and defensive linemen through. Don't pay guys who are, you know, really good. You got to pay the guys who are stars. Like when they let Hargrave go, I was like, you know, that's a really good player to let go. But they were like, no, we got to let him go because we got to, you know, he's a good player. He's not a great player. And so make that decision. Go and get a guy like Jalen Carter. They got Jalen Carter. You know, guy was a little rough around the edges, but possibly the best player who came out in that draft. You know, did a spectacular job of getting him to be serious about the game and to stop the shenanigans from Georgia. Now, hopefully he stays on the right path with that, but you know, so far so good. And getting a guy like a Jordan Mailata is just an amazing pick. You know, keeping Lane Johnson, you know, around as long as they have, and then, you know, find a way to get Saquon Barkley as a perfect complementary piece to finish that offense. I mean, yeah, all respect to Howie Roseman right now, especially a guy who is not your traditional football guy. You know, this is a guy who's an economics guy. He's from the executive side. He's not a scout, but he's learned enough and probably understood enough about how to understand what the scouts are bringing to him to say, how does that fit?
And he's a Gator. So, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, it is what it is. He's one of those Florida guys. You know, you're all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick Sirianni, a couple more here for you, Jace. Nick Sirianni's now got a 700-plus win percentage. And in his first 4 years as a head coach, he's gone to the playoffs every year. He's got 2 NFC championships. I mean, in a Super Bowl. We're now starting, you know, I used to think McVay was the best NFC coach and the most accomplished resume. He still is, in my opinion, a little bit because he's got 4 division titles in 8 years. You know, he's been at it a little longer, but I think only that's the reason. How do you see Nick now, man? I mean, he's kind of grown into this role that they kind of developed for him. He's not really the play caller. His assistants matter, but Jimmy Johnson told me, if you don't have a great assistant coaches, you're not going to win shit no matter who you are. I don't care. You can have George Allison there. You're not going to win if you don't have good assistant coaches. How do you see Nick Sirianni?
I come back to this. I think Nick Sirianni is the perfect coach for the Philadelphia Eagles right now because he's got enough chutzpah, enough. You know, he's got balls, right?
Wait a minute, is chutzpah code for asshole?
A little bit of that, yeah. It means you got gall. You can take it and give it, right? And he's not afraid. He's got the confidence, you know, and maybe too much confidence sometimes, but I'd rather have too much than not enough to go in and do, you know, what you think you have to do to lead a team. And I think he's perfectly situated for that. Now, I always think that guys who run hot like that can run out faster, you know, like
Bill
again.
Walsh.
Yeah, Bill was a little, you know, he didn't run.
Bill ran everything.
Yeah, Bill's a little different, but yeah, Parcells.
Yeah.
He's got like Parcells was
That's
perfect.
a better comp.
Yeah, because Parcells was a perfect Giants coach because he was a Jersey guy who could give it back. Like he could. And I think Sirianni's a Philly guy who can give it back. And, again, stand up to people and say, hey, I don't care what you think. I'm doing it my way. We're going to go do this. And this is how, and whether you like it or not. Like, there was a game he screwed up early in the season. I was looking back. It was one. He didn't let it bother him. He just kept going. And, he didn't. I don't think he lets the mistake.
The Atlanta game.
Yeah, he doesn't let the mistakes drag him down. He's like, okay, yeah, I made that mistake. I own it. Let's move on. I'll fix it. And you need that from a coach, especially on an East Coast team with a fan base that's like that. That some guys can get jittery. They can second guess themselves an awful lot.
Lastly, here, Andy Reid. Boy, I don't really get a sense that Andy Reid is going to be coaching to get that record of Don Shula. There was a question mark that whether or not he was going to come back this year, a small, not a lot, but the owner, Clark Hunt, came out and said, yeah, no, I know he's coming back this year. But then when someone asked him, he goes, well, we're coming down to the end of it here. I don't really think that that's something that he's looking at as a priority, where in his life he wants to chase down Shula, because I think he's pretty comfortable with his resume right now. But I don't think a loss like that does anything to what he's accomplished.
I think it'd be kind of cool. Like, again, it'd be something you'd be watching history, right?
Yeah.
The same reason I wanted the Chiefs to win this year, to see something I'd never seen before, right? Like, not because I'm a Chiefs fan, because I could care less, but because you want to see history every once in a while. You want to see teams do something really, truly special. That's why I was, pulling for the Chiefs. And I thought that they had the right mix and the right idea. It just didn't pan out. Would I like to see Andy Reid hang out and break that record? Sure. Do I think it really matters to him? No. I think he's happy with who he is. But I also look at it this way. I don't know what else Andy's going to do. Like, I don't see him going and doing TV.
No, I don't either.
Like all the stuff that Belichick did this year, because Belichick just can't. Like, Belichick can't sit still, right?
Right.
I think Andy's one of those guys. Like, I'm either going to coach or I'm not doing anything, right? Like, I'm not. So if you're that kind of person, you have that kind of active mind that always wants to be doing this. You're going to do it as long as you can, until your body just says you can't do it anymore. And that may be the case. Age might be catching up with him, because he is a big man, right? So standing on the sidelines doing all that coaching, that may wear on him. I don't know. But I think, all things considered, the man has a lot of fun. He has a lot of fun doing what he does. And he doesn't get too high, and he doesn't get too low. Again, he's not like Bill Walsh, who can go into fits of depression. And Bill would beat himself up in situations like this, or Parcells, where he was ran too hot and too angry, or Jimmy, who was just frenetic. He's not like that. I think, and he's got a great partner in his quarterback. Like, he has a guy that it's very easy for him to work with. Whereas there are a lot of coach-quarterback relationships that are push and pull. That there's a lot of arguing and a lot of fighting. But I'll tell you, Patrick Mahomes loves Andy Reid. Absolutely loves Andy Reid, and will do whatever the guy says to do. Right. And when you have that kind of relationship, I think it's a lot easier to say, yeah, I'll keep doing this, because I don't have to constantly think, how am I going to manipulate my quarterback to get him to do what I want him to do?
Was that the greatest performance defensively you've seen in a Super Bowl? Or was that Bears? Yeah.
Well, no, the Bears is just hard to match, because, like, there was palpable fear. Like, the Patriot, especially with Eason. Like Eason was afraid to be on the field. You could see it. Like it was happening faster. It was vicious. It was happening. And that's, it's a different era of football. I don't think that Patrick Mahomes was ever scared to be on the field. I think he was, thrown for a loop by what they were doing, what the drops were and how they were anticipating things. But I don't think he was ever, like, there was no fear factor in it. The Ravens, I would just say this. I thought that the Giants' performance against the Patriots in the 2007 season in that Super Bowl is pretty amazing, right? When you're shutting down Brady and Moss and, Welker and those guys, that's a pretty amazing
undefeated too.
Yeah, and like that was a great defensive performance. And Spags came up with a great plan in that game, and their front four was terrific all game. With what was it, OC and Strahan, and I'm trying to remember who the other guys were
Justin
on that. There was Justin Tuck, and there's a fourth guy on that line who was really, really good. But that was a pretty special performance. But I will say this: I think the most impressive defensive performance I've ever seen in a playoff game, maybe as close as you can get to the Bears against the Patriots, was the Ravens against the Raiders in Oakland in the AFC Championship game before the Super Bowl, where they just, like, it was like that was a street fight where one team brought knives and the other one brought bazookas. Right, it was like that was like Siragusa and Adams. I have never seen a pair of defensive tackles dominate a game and dominate a season, but really the entire game that game, and said, "You're not doing anything against us because we're destroying anything that you want to do. So Rich Gannon, just go, and we're about to plant you in the ground," which Siragusa literally did. Okay, that was malevolent. Philly was just really complete. But again, it's because and I'm not trying to say that Philly wasn't a great defensive team, because they were fabulous. For 15 straight games, they were fabulous. But they also had the score in their favor. Whereas that Ravens team, like, that was a nail biter kind of a game, and they were still just malevolent. They were still just like, we're going to just ragdoll you the whole damn day. And then the Dallas teams, put on some pretty good defensive performances. That one where, Jim Kelly's still throwing the ball to the Cowboys. So but you're talking about rare air.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget this one: Seattle against Denver.
Yep.
Seattle against Denver. That's that Denver offense that set so many records that year with Peyton coming back. But you're talking top 5, top 6 of games I've ever seen. Yeah, they're right up there.
Absolutely, Jason. What a great year, man! Thank you so much again for everything and all your time that you do for us, man. I can't thank you enough. And I appreciate you, man, so much. And thank you again. Have a great weekend, my friend. I appreciate it.
Be good. We'll talk to you later.
You got it. Hall of Fame voter Jason Cole with us there. We really appreciate it. By the way, Xander, I'm not going to take a timeout. I'm just going to do a read here for BetUS. Guys, what a great season it's been with our friends at BetUS. We teamed up with them this year for the YouTube 150. It was great this year. It was a signing bonus up to $2K for the YouTube 150. Second and third were 125%. And if you were into crypto, it was 200%. You go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business. 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year. Live wagering on all major games. Again, absolutely awesome year we had with our friends at BetUS. With the YouTube 150, second and third, we're 125%. That's betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Thank you guys so much. Got to tell you, what a great day, man. What a great week. What a great season. Again, we turn the page starting Monday. It'll be the pursuit to repeat. You got a lot of things in your favor heading into free agency. You've got a lot of people wanting to come and play in Philly. Myles Garrett, I heard him as late as yesterday say, hey, if it ever worked out that I could get to Philly, that'd be an unreal destination for me. So, I mean, absolutely awesome stuff here, man. By the way, we had a great week. Make sure you guys check out all of our videos. Make sure you check out the new content too, from Isabel, from Xander, from Big Joe. Make sure you check it out at our network site. Guys, awesome weekend. Awesome day. Congratulations to you. Awesome. We appreciate it. Hit the like button. Have a great weekend. We'll tee it back up on Monday, 2 to 6, and we shall see you on the flip side.